Hey, how's it going, everybody? How are you all doing today? I guess it's the start of the stream, so nobody's going to be here, but it's all good. But yeah, I'll just explain it. You can watch it back at the VOD. You know, I'll have a little explanation at the beginning of what's going on. I'm just going to try to play Demon Bluff until I inevitably mess up and lose. So it's going to be Demon Bluff Endless Mode. Been having fun with this game. I'm trying to just have a chill time today, a chill stream, because I don't know. I've been dealing with some stuff. I had a funeral I went to, and I'm just like, I don't want to think about that shit. I just want to hang out and play an easy game, and this is a good chill-out game. So, we're gonna go. Let's see how long I can go for, man. Alright, here we go. As people trickle in, let me know if the audio's too loud or whatever. I got the neon white OST going, because it's better than the playtest's audio, you know, but let's go. Alright, here we go. Let's do some endless mode, baby. Here we go. Endless chode. Let's get into it. Alright, there are two evils among all characters. Find and kill them. Can do. Okay, so what do we got? Lilith, Witch, Doppelganger, Bombardier, Baker, Architect, Slayer, Gemcrafter, Hunter, Oracle, and Empress. Alright, some interesting stuff. So Lilith's obviously killing people, so I want to be cognizant of the order in which I reveal people. Same with Witch. Witch makes it so I can't reveal the last one. So let's get into it. Alright, we got a little bit of a number 1. So number 6 or number 7 is the Witch. Damn, you about to insta-lose. Right, go for it. Now, let's see. I mean, if I insta-lose, that'd be hilarious. It'd be like the shortest stream ever. I have a hard cutoff around like 5:30 p.m., by the way, for, I gotta go to a dinner with some buds. But, if that's the case, I'll pick it up from where I left off later. Okay. This is saying number 6 or number 7 is a Witch, so I want to leave that unrevealed to see if the Lilith kills one of them, and then that wouldn't be the Witch, obviously. Alright, so we got number 2. Okay, that is powerful. Alright, so this is the original Baker. That's 100% guaranteed, and that's true. Alright, so that's some powerful info right there. And then we got Architect saying both sides are equally evil, so that would imply that there would be a Witch on one side, a Lilith on the other. Okay, let's see what's up. Alright, then we got Slayer here. Alright, so Demon kills number 6. This is like 6 or 7 is a Witch. Let's see here. I could try to Slayer kill number 7 right now, but I think I'll just opt to, like, reveal some more stuff. So let's reveal number 7. So this is Baker saying they were the Empress. So that would imply... So here's the thing. That could be a double claim of Baker with a lie, but that could also just be the Baker turning the Empress over here into a Baker. So let's go ahead and reveal these other ones. So number 4, okay. So we have a pretty solid Baker chain here. And then we've got number 8, which we cannot reveal. Alright, so this seems like it's a lie. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Slayer to try to kill the Oracle here. Couldn't kill number 1. So that's interesting. So is there any form of corruption on the script here? We've got no corruption, it looks like. So it seems like this is 2 lies right there. That would make this correct. So I'm going to go ahead and kill... There we go. So that's the Lilith, and then you're the Slayer. So there's the 2s right there. All right, the 2 evils. We got them right off the bat. All right, here we go. Let's shuffle them up, deal them back out. Let's see what's up. Let's erase all this shit. We got the Puka. We got the twin minions, so we'll have some corruption here from the Puka. We got Wretch. We got Bombardier. So only corruption comes from the Puka right now. And we got Hunter. Bishop is super powerful, so looking forward to that. Let's see. So number 1, we got Bombardier. Number 2, we got Poet, saying number 7 is evil. Okay, let's see what number 7 is. Number 7 being the Hunter right there, saying they're 2 away from the closest evil. Let's go ahead and reveal these 2. Alright, so between 5, 3, and 6. So including themselves, there's a Villager, Outcast, and Minion. Now the interesting thing about a Bishop including themselves is that unless the Bishop is the Doppelganger, which there's no Doppelganger here, that means that this has to be true, right? Because if it wasn't true, they would be, not... So basically a Bishop, if they're lying, all of their info gives all of the villagers, right? So if this was a lie, and they included themselves, that would mean that this Bishop would still have to be a villager. So I guess that would be true if there was corruption, but there's no corruption on... No, there is a Puka, though. Never mind then. So Puka could be corrupting bishop, meaning it sees itself as a villager correctly, and then 5 and 3 would also be an outcast dominion. So never mind. So let's go ahead and reveal these two. Alright, so Confessor's saying they're good, so that's very powerful info. Confirmed good, and that's true right there. Not necessarily true. They could have, they have to be good. It could be corrupted. Yep, you are correct. You are correct. So Puka could be one of these two right here, potentially. Alright, we have a knight here. I don't want to kill the knight in case this is like the Puka corrupting the knight, and then we, like, insta-lose, basically. This is saying number 1 or number 8 is a twin minion, and this is the Slayer right here. Alright, so let's think here. Does stream end when you lose? The stream will end when I lose, or at like 5:30, which is, from my time, that's about 4... Well, I guess it's 5 hours from now. Alright, so, whichever happens first. And I'll try my best not to lose. I won't throw the game. Alright, so let's go through this. So number 1 or number 8 is a twin minion. I don't think there are any hidden outsiders, outcasts. So that means that you are necessarily good, as Bombardier right there. This is saying number 7 is evil. Let's assume that this is a lie. Well, actually, no, that can't be true. So this has to be a lie. Yeah, because both outcasts are face up. So that means this is a lie. So that means the Puka is one of these two right here, corrupting this bishop. So one of those two. This is saying number 1 or number 8 is the twin minion. So if this is true, then this Slayer right here is the twin minion. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to use the Slayer to try to kill the knight. So they say they couldn't kill 5. So this presumably isn't the Puka. Well, it could be a twin minion there, actually, never mind. So I'm two away from the closest evil. So if this is the twin minion, then that would have to be a lie. Alright, let's think about this. We got some interesting stuff going on. So let's assume this is let's assume that this knight is the Puka, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Because that's a less likely scenario in this case, I think. So let's say that you're evil, and you're the Puka, right? Which means that this is a lie, necessarily. And then this right here would have to be an evil as well, because they would be malfunctioning and there's no more corruption other than this Puka right here, right? So this would be the Puka, okay? And so those would be our two evils, but then this would be a lie and that doesn't make sense. So this knight right here at least cannot be the Puka. Let's see if they're evil though, if it's the twin minion. So this is the twin minion, it'd be the same thing, then this would be a lie. And then the Puka would have to be here. But then, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So this knight has to be good. Necessarily. So you're good, right there. Boom. And then 5-3, yeah, okay, all that shit. What software do you use to write on the screen? I'm using this software called Epic Pen. I'm hesitant to, like, endorse them. When I went to their website a couple months ago, they didn't have, like, a valid SSL cert, so it was, like, a little bit sketchy, so I was like, I don't know if I want to tell everybody to get this software, but you can get it. It's been working fine for me. They have, like, a free version and a paid version. I just use the free version. It's got, like, a few features missing, but it works pretty well for what I'm doing. Alright, so knight is good. Hunter, let's say that the hunter cannot... This has to be a lie, right? Because these are two confirmed goods, 2 away from the hunter. So this is a lie as well. So this could be the Puka. In fact, this has to be the Puka. Yeah, this has to be the Puka right there. And then this would be true. Yeah, so you're the Puka. And then twin minion could be this one. That can't be this one, so it's between these two, so I got 2 shots, so let's just go ahead and do this. Alright, so corrupted, and then it would be you. Alright, there we go. We're good to go. Tricky here, because it seems that there's a few different worlds at work. Yep. I think that I should have used the Slayer differently there, but I guess he was corrupted anyway. I don't like the Hunter, he's looking at me funny. Exactly. Hunter was definitely the Puka right there. Alright, so we got Puka and Poisoner and Plague Doctor. So potentially lots of corruption this time, which could be pretty tricky here. But let's go ahead and see. So, order of operations here. Let's just go here first. So Judge will reveal you. Poisoner's 3 cards away from the closest evil. And then this is saying number 7 is good. Lover is saying that there's 2 evils adjacent to me. That seems unlikely, but let's see. Bombardier. Actually, this has to be a lie no matter what. Because, well, not no matter what. If they're sitting next to the Poisoner and the Poisoner is poisoning away, that could potentially be true. No, but then they'd be sitting next to the Puka. So that has to be a lie right here. So whether or not they're evil remains to be seen. We have a Bombardier represented here. We've got a Baker saying they're the original Baker, super powerful, because this is uncorrupted information right there. Let's see if you turn this into a Baker. You do not. Okay, so that means that this Druid right here has to be evil. So we got 1 evil right there. Alright, so that's the Poisoner. Poisoning 3 or 3 is evil already, which means that this is a lie. Which means that this is the other evil right there. Alright, there we go. Pretty easy. Pretty straightforward there. Baker coming in clutch. Alright, we got Puka here as the only evil. We got Doppelganger, Wretch, Witness, Bishop, Gemcrafter, Confessor, Poet, Bard. Okay. So let's go ahead and reveal you. We got Poet. So 3, 4, or 5 is evil. Okay. So let's go ahead and reveal these. We got 2 Confessors that are both good. And that has to be a Doppelganger right there. So, that's super powerful info. So, both good right there. This is saying that 3, 4, or 5 is evil. Yeah, that Baker did solve everything. Let's see here. So, 3, 4, 5. So, if this is true, then you're evil here. Otherwise, this is a lie. Which could be coming from the Puka. This is saying there's no corrupted characters, but the Puka is the only evil. So, if this person was evil, they'd be corrupting this Confessor. Although, wait. Puka only corrupts villagers. So if this is the Doppelganger, that could still be true. Okay, so that's interesting. But let's reveal some more there. We got Gemcrafter saying that they themselves are good. So that tells us nothing. Because if they're good, that's true. I guess it tells us that they're not good and corrupted. That's the only thing it tells us about. So actually, though, that is powerful information. But no, it's not, because the Puka right there... Yeah, alright. There must be a way of displaying the logic of these like a Sudoku. Yeah, I mean, basically what you're doing is you're making a truth table, right? So you could just write up a truth table, you know, on Excel or whatever. I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing by, like, going through the different scenarios and things like that. Alright, we got Witness saying that number 3 was affected by an evil. And then we got number 6 saying, okay, number 6 is a bishop, that's big. Between 2, 4, and 6, there's a demon, an outcast, and a villager. Alright, I mean, oh yeah, that makes sense because there's no minions, right? But this has to be true because it includes, well, no, it doesn't have to be true. It could be, once again, a corruption thing. Okay, let's assume that's true. Let's try to make that work here. So basically, this is true, right? And then that would mean that this is the Dop right here, because they would have to be the outcast in this lineup, right? So you would be good. You'd be the good villager, uncorrupted. And then he's saying that number 2 is the demon, which is possible, which would mean that you're corrupted here. So that's a lie. I mean, this has to be a lie regardless, right? The only way that couldn't be... Actually, yeah, that has to be a lie. Has to be a lie, so let's put that in red. Because the Puka has to corrupt at least 1 person. If they're sitting next to the Doppelganger, then obviously that wouldn't be the case. Alright, let's see here. So that's a lie. And this would be the Puka saying 3, 4, 5 is evil, so that would also be a lie. But they'd be being corrupted by this Puka here. So you'd be good, and then this is saying number 3 was affected by an evil, which would be true. So you're good. Okay, so let's assume that it's a lie now, and let's see how that looks. So if this is a lie, then 2, 4, and 6 all have to be villagers. So you would still be good. So no matter what, this bishop is good, as we established from the logic last time anyway. So this is a good bishop right here. Meaning that 2 is a villager, and 4 is a villager. Meaning that they're not the doppelganger, meaning this would be the dop. Right there, right? So if that's the case, where do our evils go? Or where does the puka go, right? Because if this was true, that can't be true. This has to be a lie. But no, that's impossible because... Well, no, it's not impossible. Then this would be the puka, right? Yeah. Okay, so this would be the lie right here. Because you would have to be good. Because if they were evil, they would have to be the puka, corrupting number 2 and number 4, but that's not possible, right? So, okay, this character has to be good no matter what. I guess I could have seen that already from the... No, but it could have been the doppelganger. But anyway, in both scenarios, they're good. So here we go. We got a good bard that's lying, which means this has to be the puka, right? So, you die. Alright. There we go. We got the puka there. Okay, let's go to the next scenario here. Next scenario, we got Ba, we got Puppeteer. So we have 3 evils. 2 of them have to be sat next to each other. We have a lot of potential outcasts here. 2 of them face down. No, 1 of them face down. Only drunks face down. Bishop, all this shit. Alright, let's go. Number 1, a knight. Could be corrupted by Plague Doctor or drunk. So we don't want to use... We don't want to kill the knight yet. Number 2, Bishop, saying that between 2, 3, and 6, there's a minion, villager, and outcast. So once again, including themselves, which is very powerful information. So let's go ahead and flip over 6. Confessor saying they're dizzy. Okay, so they're corrupted by the Plague Doctor, or they're just evil. Or they're the drunk. Never mind. And then 3 there. Okay, Dreamer. Alright, so 2, 3, 6. Alright, let's come back to that. Let's flip you over. Number 5 or number 3 is a puppeteer. Let's flip over number 5, saying, I cured 0 corruptions. Now, this is true info. 100% true. Okay? Because, once again, if they're not the alchemist, or if they're, like, drunk or whatever, so basically, you couldn't be lying about not curing corruptions, because if you're lying about that, that means you're either evil or corrupted, in which case you would be curing 0 corruptions. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're good, because this could be the puppeteer or this. But this has to be, if this is true, then this has to be the puppeteer, is basically it. So this is either good or the puppet, is what I'm saying. Alright, let's keep flipping them over here. Alright, we got medium, saying number 6 is a real confessor. We have number 8, which is a Plague Doctor. Alright, so let's go ahead and use the Plague Doctor to check the Confessor here, saying number 6 is corrupted, number 4 is evil. Okay? So, if that's the case, there'd be no drunk. There could also be an evil Plague Doctor here with a drunk in play, which seems a little less likely here, but let's go ahead and check using the Dreamer on the Oracle here. Alright, so they're saying that they could be the puppeteer. So there's a lot of evidence pointing to number 4 being evil here. Let's go ahead and just kill number 4 to start off with. Alright, they are the puppet. So this is wrong. So this is probably the puppeteer. Because you have to be good now, so this is the puppeteer. Alright, there we go. Because this is guaranteed good. This is guaranteed good right there. This is guaranteed good. And this is saying between 3, number 6, and number 2. So this has to be true as well. So it's the knight right here. Oh, wait, they're correct. What? Who is it then? Alright, let me plot this out then. I messed up there, but we're still alive, barely. Okay, but that's powerful info. Wait, okay, let me plot this out. Let me plot this out then, because apparently I am messing up. Alright, so you're good. So, okay, the thing I don't understand about the Plague Doctor still is that could this be, a lie? Oh, yeah, Confessor could be the drunk. But here's the thing, okay? So I don't know if... Could this... Oh, there are 2 outsiders. Oh, okay, yeah, there's 2 outcasts. Okay, so you're good. You're good as well, and this is the drunk. There we go. Alright, so this is the drunk. You're good, obviously, because we killed you. And now this is saying between 2, 6, and 3. So this is true as well, so you're good. And then that means that the medium is the evil there, because they're saying the drunk is the confessor. Alright, there we go. Makes sense. Alright, that was close. It was going to be a very short stream right there. Alright. We got Ba, we got Shaman, we got Minion, and we got Bombardier, Doppelganger, Plague Doctor. Alright, let's see here. So we could have 2 sources of double claims here that are valid. There has to be at least 1 double claim. Alright, so let's go ahead and start revealing here. We got Bombardier. Bishop saying that between 3, 8, and 9, there's a Minion, Outcast, and a Villager. So let's look at 3. 3 is an Empress. 8, 9. Alright, so this is true, once again. And I think this means they have to be good. Because there's no puppeteer, yeah. So this alchemist is good. And this is saying closest evil is clockwise. So that's making, you know, that makes sense so far from what I'm seeing. But, let's see, it could be, okay. So the alchemist could be a doppelganger, though. So let's keep revealing here. Alright, so it is. Okay, we have a pair here. So either doppelganger or the shaman pair, right? And they're saying I cured 1 corruption. Well, let's keep revealing. Okay, so we got Lover, we got Plague Doctor, and we got Fortune Teller. Alright, so the alchemists themselves could be corrupted here. But let's see here. There's no other pairs, right? So there's no doppelganger in play, because this has to be the shaman pair. Which means that you are both good here, right? Shaman pair right there. No doppelganger. So if there's no doppelganger, that means that that one of the 2 outcasts here is real. And let's see, let's go from here. So this has to be a lie, obviously, right here. This is a lie. And this is saying that 1 is evil between number 2, number 7, and number 9. And this is saying between number 3, number 8, and number 9. There's a Minion, Outcast, and Villager. Okay. Let's see here. So, what do I want to do here? What do I want to start off with? Well, let's go ahead and assume that... one source of corruption exists and no evil rolls cause corruption. Yeah. So it could be that the alchemist is curing the Plague Doctor's, corruption here. Or the alchemists themselves could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. It's hard to say, but let's use the Plague Doctor here. They're saying that number 4 is not corrupted. Okay. So let's assume 3, 8, and 9. Let me think here. Okay, let me go ahead and write out what would happen if this is a lie. Okay, let's see what that world looks like. So if this is a lie, that means that number 3 is a villager, number 8's a villager, number 9 is a villager as well. And then the lie here would either be that this is an evil bishop, or they're being corrupted by the Plague Doctor, right? What would that look like, though? So, if that's the case, then the rest of these would have to be true. No, they wouldn't have to be true, never mind. Well, yes, this one would have to be true. Because either the alchemist... Well, the alchemist can't be corrupted. Then they're good, for sure. And if they're good for sure, and they're not corrupted, they cured this corruption. So then you would have to necessarily be evil in that case. You would have to be good, and then this would be true, saying that number 2, number 7, or number 9, which means that the fortune teller would be good as well, because there's only one evil, which is the bishop here, right? And then that would mean that you are evil as well. So that would be 2 of our evils placed. Let's see here. Let's keep going then. So there's 2 evils. What are the evils again? Minion and Shaman. So where would our 3rd evil go? Well, it would be between these 2, obviously. Alright? Yeah, there we go. And this is saying closest evil is clockwise. So that doesn't tell us anything because it could be the bishop being seen over here. So we'd use fortune teller to differentiate between the 2 right there. So you know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to use fortune teller on this alchemist and this plague doctor. They're saying that it's false, which would mean the bombardier would be the evil one of the 2, right? If this fortune teller is good. So what I want to check, let's assume that that fortune teller is lying then, and go through that scenario. In fact, let's just assume that the fortune teller is evil. Alright, so if the fortune teller is evil, this has to be a lie, which means that number 6 is evil as well, which means that this is a lie, which means number 4 is corrupted, but then that doesn't work because there's no other plague doctor. So that doesn't work. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? So basically, fortune teller cannot be evil. Plague doctor cannot be evil. Right? Yeah. Plague doctor has to be good regardless. So that means fortune teller is also good. So that means that bombardier is evil. Alright, there we go. So they're the minion. One of the minions. Other one is shaman. So let's go ahead and see here. So this is true, this is true. Alright, let's go ahead and mark the goods then. Alright, so you are good, this is true. So uncorrupted. You're good. And this is true. You're evil up here. This is true, which means you're good as well. So that just means that lover, empress. So let's say empress is correct. I mean, 6 and 4 could both be evil. Both could lie. 6 and 4. No, but then the plague doctor would be telling the truth. If alchemist is evil, then the plague doctor would say they're corrupted. If the plague doctor's evil, because they would have to lie. I think it's 2 and 5 are evil. Plague is legit. Damn, I'm late. I can't even reason about this round. That's another way to tell 2 is fake. Well, let's see. Yeah, so 3, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, so we have 2 villagers there already, so this one has to be a lie. But that could be the corruption from the plague doctor. Let's come back to that. 2, 7, 9. Could be the bishop right there. I think lover has to be... Let's assume that the lover's good somehow. That'd be the corruption from the plague doctor, which would mean that both of these would have to be evil, but then they'd be telling the truth. So that means that the lover has to be evil. So let's go ahead and see you. Alright, so that is the Ba right there. This is saying that 3, 8, 9. Okay. This game would be so much harder if there were evil rolls that could sometimes tell the truth. Yeah, I mean, I think this game needs to be made harder, because it's pretty easy right now, overall. I mean, every once in a while you'll get like a real hard one, but for the most part it's not too bad. Alright, so Ba right there is evil right there. Let's go ahead and see. So, this is saying number 4 is not corrupted, so that means that this has to be true, because they're both good, right? Which would mean that the lie up here... Yeah, okay, so it is number 2, never mind. Yeah, so there we go. Alright. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm wondering, it'd be kind of interesting, what if there was like an outsider that made it so that when a character has to lie, they like maybe lie or something like that. Aha, I see now, if they both lie, then number 3 would also be lying, which can't happen if you don't have corruption. Yep. Alright, so we only got Puka here, that's the only evil we got. So let's see. We got Plague Doctor. We got Baker saying they were the Bard. So this right off the bat is a lie. We don't know if they're evil yet, though, because there's a lot of corruption in this one. Alchemist saying they cured 1 corruption. Bard saying I'm 1 card away from a corrupted character. Slayer and Druid. Alright, so let's assume... Well, there's no Doppelganger, for sure. So this Plague Doctor has to be legit. So Plague Doctor's legit, because they're the only face-up outsider we see, and there's no double claims. So let's go ahead and find out if the Druid is corrupted, because we know that this has to be, you know, a Plague Doctor. And they're saying there is a Plague Doctor, which is true. So this is an uncorrupted, good Druid right there. And then I was a Bard is a lie. Alright, so here's the thing. This cannot be the Puka because this is telling the truth. So you are good, but you're corrupted by the Plague Doctor. So let's just go ahead and finish this. Alright, number 2 is corrupted, so number 6 is evil. There we go. Good stuff. Nice, easy little one. Because either he cured the only corruption or he's the corrupted one. Yep. Alright, so we got Lilith here, we got Poisoner, we got Counselor, Doppelganger, Wretch. So we have 2 outcasts here because the Counselor adds 1 in. We got Plague Doctor, Hunter, Knight, blah blah blah. Okay. So let's go ahead and go with number 1 here. Saying there's no evils adjacent to them. So let's reveal both of these actually. We got Plague Doctor, we got Hunter saying they're 1 card away from the closest evil. Okay. And let's go with you next here. Architect saying right side is more evil. Number 7, a confirmed good, because they were killed by the demon right there. Okay, let's go with number 3, Dreamer. Number 4, saying number 6 or number 9 is the Counselor. And we got 5, 6. Alright, Demon wakes again. Can't kill anybody because there's no unrevealed cards. We just lose 2 health. So we have a double claim between these hunters here. That could be the Doppelganger pair. Alternatively, this Wretch could be an outcast. It could be either, or sorry, this unrevealed card could either be the Wretch or a Doppelganger with any of these other cards out here. So it's a little bit hard to say. But let's go ahead and assume that... Oh no, we have a Dreamer pair as well. Alright, so we probably have a Doppelganger in play. Hard to tell which one would be which so far, though. Alright, so this is saying right side's more evil. Alright, let's assume, is there any way for this Plague Doctor to not be good is the question, right? It would be that, specifically, there would be a Wretch here, and there would be a Doppelganger between these two. So let me go ahead and make that assumption, just see if there's any way that could work. I don't think there is. So if you're evil, right, that would mean that this is specifically the Wretch, which means that you would be good. So this would be true, right? And this would be saying that right side is more evil, which would be interesting. Let's see here. So I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. So I mean, that could be true. That could be true is the problem. There's a lot of, like... This one's going to be a hard one, I can tell, I think. Because Dreamer is a pretty difficult card to use right, anyway. It's hard to tell if they're lying or not. Because you specifically have to choose evils for it to do anything. Oh man, okay, this is tricky. Alright, so let's assume Plague Doctor's evil here. There'd be the Doppelganger, you'd be the Wretch. This would be true because they'd be seeing the Wretch. This would be saying right side is more evil. Would there be a way to make that? Well, I mean, this would be a lie. Okay, so this would be a lie up here, which would be coming from what? It would have to be that... No, it could be a Poisoner, too, as well. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Well, okay, let's look at that. So if that was the case, then you would have to be... Well, you could be the Poisoner. Oh, man. Okay, wait. There's a lot going on here. Okay, well, let's start off by just trying to find something that's obviously false. So let's go ahead and say this is true. And you'd be good and uncorrupted. That means this Plague Doctor would be good, and that means that you would be good. And then if this is true, then this would have to be an evil right there. But that's fine. I mean, this could also be a lie, being corrupted by the Plague Doctor. Couldn't be corrupted by the Poisoner, though. This is saying number 9 or number 6 is a counselor. Man. This is a tricky one, man. Because it's like, I gotta figure out how to use these one-time uses effectively here. Which is gonna be difficult. Alright, what do I want to do? How do I want to start this, basically? So, let's say this is true. Oh man, it's like hard because like, I can't put down all of the outcasts for sure, right? Because these could all be evil. Right? Or I mean, this could basically, these double claims could be from 2 evils. Both of the minions. And then the demon would be somewhere else. And then this could be the other outcast. Either a doppelganger or a wretch. Which is hard to say. And this lines up here that that's a wretch. God damn, bro. Okay, let's see. What can... I'm trying to make any headway here. I was just talking shit about how this game needs to be harder, and then I get hit with this one. I don't think number 9 could be a counselor unless the dead 7 is the dot pair. Let's see. Number 9 or number 6? So, let's go ahead and look at that. Okay, let's go ahead and say that number 9 is the counselor. Okay? So, let's say you're the counselor. Specifically counts. Then, that would mean that this is true, obviously, right? So, we'd say this is true, then you're good. And that would have to mean, like you said, that this would have to be a villager that's either an architect or a lover, because they would have to be, you know, they'd have to be the doppelganger, essentially. Yeah. But that would mean that these would both be good. So you would both be good, but this would be a lie. And the lie would have to come from the poisoner or the, no, this would be a legitimate plague doctor. So you'd be good as well. I mean, that's possible, right? Because you'd have plague doctor here, you would have a doppelganger pair with either one of these two. But that would be a lie. So this would have to be the doppelganger. So that would be true information right here. Because this couldn't be the doppelganger, because the doppelganger cannot be corrupted, right? So if that's the case, then the right side is more evil. Which means that we would have to have... That would be impossible, right? Because you could only have one evil over here and Dreamer. So yeah, this is impossible. That's impossible. So this can't be the counselor. Let's go through the other scenario, painstakingly. Okay, here we go. We're making a little bit of headway. Slowly but surely. Okay, here we go. Let's say number 6 is the counselor. So you're evil and you're the counselor. Oh, wait, but... Yeah, okay, well, never mind. Let's go ahead and go through that. So counselor here. This could be... Either one of these would be the doppelganger. But they're saying that I'm 1 away from the closest evil, so you would be good. You would be good, so you already are good, right? And now... 1 card away from the closest evil here. Plague Doctor, so that would be the doppelganger or the wretch. But no, if this is the wretch, this couldn't be the wretch because that would be a true statement then. So this would have to be the doppelganger. So you would be a doppelganger with number 3, which would be good. Although, wait, no, not necessarily. Because number 7 could also be a doppelganger with somebody else. And these could both be evil. But let's go ahead and say... Let's say that this is the doppelganger. Which would mean that there's a double claim between these two. Feels like we need good picks on Dreamers and Plague Doctor to solve this. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I just want to see if there's a way that we can get anything set in stone before I use my one-time use abilities. By just kind of extrapolating this out. If this is the doppelganger, that means there has to be at least one evil between these two. If number 7 is dead, Dop, though, then 3 would be out of 4 members of evil. Yeah. Well, so this would be the evil one right there. There'd be one evil there. And so we'd have 2 evils placed, essentially, between these. Alright, but this would be good. Okay, let's go through this here real quick. So this is true, obviously, and then you're good. Let's see here. So... Oh, wait, but you would have to be good as well. So you would be good because of the 1 card away from the closest evil thing. This would be the doppelganger, in this case that we're assuming. Which would mean that this would have to be evil if this is the doppelganger. So you would be evil right there. So we have 2 evils placed right there. And this could be true. Dreamer is, if you choose... So basically I click on them, and then if I choose a character, and the character is evil, if the dreamer isn't lying, they will tell me what the evil character is that I chose. But if I don't choose an evil character, they just name a random evil. I think Dreamer's one of the, I don't know, least helpful townsfolk, I would say. Them and Druid, maybe? Alright, let's see here. So, right side more evil. So you would be evil, you would be good. Okay, let's try to place the 3rd evil around here, right? So if you're evil, then that makes sense because you'd be lying. This would be true. Excuse me. This would be true. This would be true. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Dreamer is more useful to use on dead evil characters. Yeah, basically they can only confirm themselves, really, at the end of the day. Unless they're confirmed good and uncorrupted somehow. But yeah. Let's see here. So... let's say that you... Okay, so in this scenario, they're the doppelganger, you're evil. Let's say that you are evil. That would be a lie. Actually, the lover would have to be good in this case. Because if they were evil, that would be the 3rd evil, and they'd be telling the truth. So the lover has to be good in this scenario. Additionally, the Plague Doctor has to be good right there. Okay. And then the evil would have to be among these 2, which would be Architect or Hunter, and I think that either way... No. If the Hunter's evil, then they'd be lying, but this could be the Poisoner. Which would be interesting. Okay, but then... Okay, wait, but no. Okay, look at this. So... this would have to be the Demon, if this one is evil. Because this would be the Counselor, this would be the Dreamer. The Dreamer is double-claiming a legitimate Dreamer, meaning this would have to be the Demon, so that means that this Architect couldn't be poisoned. So in this scenario, the Architect would have to be evil, and this one would have to be good, and then this would be true, and this would be true. And so that all works in that scenario. Let's see here. That all works, right? Am I missing anything? Well, where's the corrupted character? The corrupted character could be one of the this could be this Dreamer, though, is the problem. No evils adjacent to me. That all works. I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. Alright, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna try to kill a character here before I use the Plague Doctor. Because we get 1 kill, right? If I kill this Hunter here, that gives us a lot of information. Because if they're not evil, then we know that this has to be evil, right? Unless they're corrupted. They could be corrupted, never mind. But then this would have to be a lie as well. That gives us a lot of info. I mean, if they are the Counselor, then that's interesting. Let's see here. So... I mean, Dreamers aren't really going to tell me shit. I could use both Dreamers on that Hunter and see if either of them says Counselor. I think number 4 is the best kill here for info, but I could be wrong. Number 4... Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because then if the oracle right there is the, yeah, actually, yeah, then that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think you're right. So number two, check number 2 on number 4. They're saying that they're corrupted, which means that number 5 is evil. Okay, well that's an interesting one. All right, well, let's go ahead and check all that shit out. Okay, let's check all that shit out. I'm gonna erase all this. I don't need to use it yet. Okay, here we go. What I want to see is, let's say that that's true. Okay? If this is true, that means you're good, but this is a lie, which means that 6 and 9 are good, and then number 5 is evil, right? So they're evil. This is saying the right side is more evil. Okay, well where do our other 2 evils go? So no, this is true then, which means that you're good, which means that you're evil and you're evil. And then this would be a lie, because they're equally... No, the left side is more evil in that case. What's my policy on backseating? I mean, I'm obsessed with this game. I am obsessed with this game. Anyway, my thing with backseating is I can just look away from the chat if I don't want to see spoilers, you know? So I don't really mind it. You guys can do whatever you want. If I don't want backseating at some point, I'll specifically say. But for now, it's all good. Let's see here. So, number 4 is corrupted. So that would be... You would be good. You guys would be all good. These would be the 3 evils. Both of the dreamers right there. I'm 1 card away. That'd be true. And then this would be true as well. So that all works. It does work, but let me just check the alternative here. Just to, you know, just for sanity's sake, let's say this is a lie. That would mean that you would have to be evil. Number 4 is not corrupted. Number 5 is not evil, so you would be good. Which would mean that this is a lie. And let's see here. And then this would be a lie up here, which could be from a poisoner, or they could be evil as well. Number 9 or number 6 is a counselor. So, I mean, they could be evil, and this is just saying they're corrupted. Or it could be true. We don't know which one yet. But, okay, but that would mean that there would necessarily... This would have to be an outcast. So you would be an outcast. Either the doppelganger or the wretch. If they're the wretch, then this would be... Well, no, that doesn't need to be a lie, because that could be the wretch. Yeah. Okay, never mind. This could be the wretch up there. If this is... or sorry, yeah. Then that would be true. Oh, man. You know what? I think I'm just going to start shooting here. We're going to start shooting. We're going to assume that this is true, and we're going to shoot. Okay? I'm going to kill this up here. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's check you. Poisoner. I mean, they're both lying, so they're both probably evil. Evil. My God. Alright, that one was interesting. A lot of work there. A lot of work. Alright. Next one. That was a fun one, though. Alright, Puka, Shaman, Plague Doctor, Bombardier, Bard, Bishop, etc. Alright, here we go. Bishop here saying, okay, Bishop right off the bat is huge. 2, 3, 7. Okay. Puka's 3 cards away from the closest evil. Number 6 or number 1 is a Shaman. And then 1 is evil. 8, 6, or 1. Okay. Well, first of all, what I like to do with the bishops is I like to assume they're lying. Also, I'm not revealing these yet because you get a higher score if you don't have to reveal anything. But let's assume this is a lie. Right off the bat. Actually, it's a stronger assumption to assume they're evil. And then that implies that they're lying. So, let's go ahead and do that. Then this would be true. And you would be good. And then this is saying number 1 or number 6 is a shaman. Which has to be true because it includes an evil. So this is a true statement, and you would be good as well. And then it's saying the puka is 3 cards away from the closest evil. So that's all legit here. That's all legit. Alright, well, let's keep revealing. I don't think that we can deduce anything for sure yet, because we could assume this is true. What are the outsiders again? There's Bombardier and Plague Doctor. No, okay, this has to be a lie. That has to be a lie right off the bat because both outcasts are face up. So never mind. Has to be a lie. Doesn't necessarily mean they're evil yet because they could be sat next to the puka. But that means they're all good. Okay, cool. So we have 3 confirmed good so far. That's pretty powerful. So you're good. You're good. You're good. Doesn't mean they're telling the truth. Because they could be corrupted by the puka. Yeah, true. Good does not equal true. That is correct because they could be corrupted. Because the demon here, the puka, corrupts their neighbors, right? And if they're corrupted, they have to lie. Alright, so these are all good villagers here. Let's go ahead and... I think we have to reveal more. Yeah, so let's go ahead and reveal this one. Empress. Alright, we have a double claim, though. Saying number 1, 3, or 6 is evil. So, okay, but here's the thing, right? There's a double claim between those two. And there's nothing that causes... No, there is the shaman. The shaman causes double claims. My bad. Alright, there we go. Let's reveal you. We have a plague doctor, we have a bishop, and we have a bard. Okay, so we have 2 bishops, we have 2 empresses. There's no corrupted characters is what the bard is saying. Is that even possible? The only way that that could be true... No, that's just straight up impossible, because the Plague Doctor... the Plague Doctor has to be in play. This has to be a legitimate Plague Doctor, which means this has to be a lie because there's no alchemist curing the Plague Doctor here. So this one has to be a lie. And this is saying between 6, 7, and 8, there's a minion, villager, and outcast. That's a lie because this Plague Doctor is the only outcast, so this is a lie as well. Which means that number 6 is a villager, and number 8 is a villager as well. Alright, so that's the shaman pair right there. Meaning that these are our 2 evils, right? Just double claiming each other. Alright, easy. Alright, you and you. Alright, there we go. Cool. Next one. Next one. Alright. We've got Lilith, Minion, Puppeteer, 4 evils on the plate. We got Bombardier, we got Plague Doctor, we got all this shit up here. So... let's go with number 1 to start off with Baker, original Baker, huge, huge, we love to see it. So uncorrupted by Plague Doctor. Yeah, alright, there we go. Number 2, okay, that's pretty compelling, but we'll see, we'll keep going. Number 5 is good. Alchemist curing 1 corruption, supposedly. The only corruption comes from the Plague Doctor, though. So... we'll have to see. We got number 4, we got number 6, 7. Alright, I mean, if all of those bakers are legit, that's pretty damn good. I mean, it's technically... I mean, that's pretty compelling. That is pretty compelling right there. Alright, alright, alright. Now, okay. There has to be a face-up outcast, so that means that this had to be the outcast. Right there, but we don't know which one it is. So you are good, and this is also the outcast. Right there. And there's no corruption, right? Besides the Plague Doctor. So, okay, but then... oh, man. No, I'm not going to kill the Knight yet. Because if this is a Plague Doctor corrupting the Knight... then we're fucked. Okay, well, let's assume that all of this shit is true. Number 5 is good. Jester right there. Kill Jester. I mean, I'm tempted to just kill the Jester. No, I'm kidding. Let's assume that this chain is all good. Alright, so good, good, good. This would be the only one that could be corrupted. So this would be true, saying they're a lover. And then this is true as well. There's no double claims in there, right? No double claims, no double claims there. Excuse me. This could be a corrupted villager. So... And yeah, there's no puppet baker, you're right. But the puppet couldn't become the baker. And they'd have to tell the truth. Could number 1 be the puppet and number 2 be puppeteer? It could not, it couldn't be. Because, okay, this is always true, is the thing. So number 5 is good. So this is always true, the I am the original baker, which means that they have to be good. The rest of this could be dubious, like, I mean, theoretically, these could all be evil, but I don't think they could, really. Number 5 is good. So these two are confirming each other. Alright, you know, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna use Jester right here on... These are 2 confirmed goods. I'm gonna use this to check number 5 to see if they're evil or if the Jester is lying. Is that what I want to do? I mean, I could also just confirm that the Jester is lying. In which case, they would be conflicting with what the Alchemist is saying, so either the Alchemist or the... Oh, man. Okay, wait. Number 5 is good. Knight. Cured 1 corruption. Okay, you know what I want to check? What I want to check is it possible for this knight to be corrupted? I think it is, but let's just make sure, okay? So if the knight is corrupted... Let me go ahead and erase all this shit for now, okay? We'll come back to that. Because I want to see if I can try to execute the knight without being afraid of dying, okay? So let's say the knight is good, but corrupt, right? So corrupt... That would mean that you're the plague doctor, so you do the PD up here. Corrupting the knight, and then this would be a lie, which would mean that this alchemist would have to be evil because the only source of corruption is from the plague doctor. And then this would be a lie as well, which means you would be evil. This can't be the puppet. I was a lover. Yeah, I mean... This would have... I mean, this shit... Then this shit would all have to be good. I mean, you would have to be good for sure. And this would have to be true because you would have had to turn you into the baker right there. So this would be true as well. You can be double claiming. I mean... So it would have to be you evil, I think. I think all this shit has to be good. So this would have to be the lineup if this knight is corrupted. Which I think works. So... I think I want to find out if the Jester is lying. Explicitly. 0 evils. So that's true. Alright, so I think I could try to kill you. Alright, there we go. Lilith, right there. Alright. We're making progress here. So knight was evil, which means that is a lie as well. Ah, whatever. Fuck it. Alright, we know that's an outcast up there, for sure. Okay, so... this is a lie, but they could be good still if this is the Plague Doctor corrupting them. I mean, you're good. This is true right here. Let me just put that. So I'm going to put out up there. Alright, so... Curing 1 corruption here. Alright, well, let's assume that you're good but lying. That would mean that that's the corruption, which would mean this is a lie, which would mean that you're evil. But you would be good in telling... So you're good no matter what. The Jester right here is good no matter what, I believe. Jester here is good no matter what. Are they all... I mean, are both of these then evil? Yeah, okay, they both have to be evil. I think those are the only places that the evils can go. So let's go ahead and kill you. Puppeteer. Oh, the Jester is not good. They're the puppet. Right, there we go. Puppet. There we go. Okay. I should have thought about that a little bit more, but hey, we got it. We got there. Okay. We got Puka, we got Twin Minion, we got Bombardier, we got Drunk, we got Plague Doctor, we got 2 outcasts this time. Slayer, Baker, etc., etc. Okay, so... Baker saying there with a Slayer. Well, right off the bat, that is a lie right there. That is a lie, because this would have to say I'm the original Baker if that was true. Bard saying that they're 2 away from the corrupted character. So they're basically at odds with each other right there. Alright, Alchemist saying they cured 1 corruption. If either of these is corrupted, then this is just... Well, no, this is just wrong. That's just wrong. Alright, let's flip you over. Let's flip you over. We got Architect saying both sides are equally evil, which is possible. Yep. And Bombardier, Dreamer, Slayer. So we have a double claim here, and there's nothing that should be causing double claims. Yep. So at least 1 evil there. So let me go ahead and note that down. So this is 1 to 2 evil. Right there. This saying I was a Slayer, I cured 1 corruption. Let's see here. Does this... I think this Bombardier has to be good, right? They are, because they're the only face-up outcast. So there's a Drunk and a Bombardier, so you're good. Let's see here. Yeah, number 2 could be a Puka for sure. Both sides equally evil. Fortune Teller. The Fortune Teller is going to be clutch here. I have to figure out how I want to use it. We have a baseline. We have a control of Bombardier. So we can check if any individual is evil, assuming that the Fortune Teller is telling the truth. But it could also be the Alchemist could be corrupted here. Well, okay, but let's go ahead and make an assumption. Let's assume this is true, right? What is that saying if this is true? That means you're good. You're definitely evil then, right? Because this would have to be true. It would have to be one of these 2 that's corrupted. And they would be corrupted either by being the Drunk or by being sat next to the Puka. Well, let's go. So you would be evil, but you would not be the Puka. Because he'd be telling the truth. So that would be the Twin Minion right here. Which would mean that the Puka would have to be in here, but that's impossible because the Puka would be double-claiming. The Puka could be double-claiming the Drunk, though. So that would place the Drunk right there. Alright, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if that's possible. So you're good, this is true. You're evil. And there's the Puka between these 2 and the Drunk. How would that fit? Let's see. So you would have to be telling the truth then. So this would have to be true, which would mean that you're good curing 1 corruption. And what would that be? What would that 1 corruption be? But this would have to be true as well. So you would have to be outside of the range there, which would mean that you would have to be corrupted. Well, I guess a lie, I'll just put there. Which would mean that you would have to be the Puka, right? Or sorry, you'd have to be the Puka up there. But then, that makes it so where's this curing of corruptions coming from? So that doesn't work. I think that necessarily has to be a lie. This run right here, let me just make sure that there's nothing else that would cause... yeah, because there wouldn't be a Drunk. And then the Drunk wouldn't be able to be cured. Unless this is the Puka curing... No. But then they wouldn't be corrupted. So yeah, okay, so this has to be a lie. So, the Bard has to be lying no matter what. Whether or not they're evil is, you know, another thing. But they're lying. So, let's assume that if this is true, then that gives us a lot of info, right? So if this was true, then you would have to be evil, and you would have to be evil. Now, that's not possible, because then the Puka wouldn't be in range of a place that we could cure. So this has to be a lie as well. Okay, there we go. So we have 3 lies all in a row. Or sorry, a lie right there. So that's got to be a lie. 3 lies right there, okay? Both sides are equally evil. Is that even possible at this point? Well, yeah, it could be. It could be twin minion over here, and then there has to be an evil among these. So I think that means that, that you have to be good, and you have to be good, and you have to be good, I believe. Yeah. So, this one's saying that both sides are equally evil. It's probably... That is true. So this is true, which means that this isn't the puka. This... Yeah, okay. So, basically, one evil there, and then one evil over there. So let's have, I'm going to have the Slayer try to kill the Bard here, because that's the most likely puka. Couldn't kill number 2. Is interesting. Okay. So let's assume the Baker is the puka. Well, okay, you know what? I want to check this. I just want to make sure that this is not the case. I want to see, what if we assume that you're the puka, right? Then there's too many lies over there. That doesn't work. The puka has to be over here. The twin minion has to be one of these two. And then this is saying I couldn't kill number 2. So let's say that you're the puka. No, but then this would be... they could be the drunk. Okay, so basically... There has to be an evil and a drunk over here, I think. Yeah. There'd have to be an evil and a drunk. So... Let me kill the Baker. That's the puka. Okay, there we go. Corrupting here. And that's one of these two. This is saying I cured 1. I cured 1 corruption. That's... Okay, that's not a lie. Okay, there we go. That's not a lie because that's the puka. And then he cured his corruption, and that's corrupting the Slayer. Okay. So I made a mistake earlier. That isn't a lie. This is true. Right there. Alright, look at that. Okay. Kiss Boy, can I hear you say colonoscopy? Colonoscopy. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, one of the 2 Dreamers evil, so let's just have both Dreamers check the puka. Could be puka. Could be twin minion. Alright, see you, twin minion. Alright, there we go. Alright. What do we got now? We got Ba, we got Witch, we got Wretch, we got Plague Doctor, Doppelganger, Bombardier, etc., etc. Okay. Let's go with number 1 here. We got Oracle, which is number 3, or number 8 is a Witch. There's no, let's reveal both of them, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Bombardier, Bard. There are no corrupted characters. Is there any source of corruption here? There's Plague Doctor. Okay. Number 2, I'm the original Baker. Huge. We love to see it. True. And then, let's continue on. We got number 4 here. We got Jester. We got Hunter. Wretch. Now, this is true. Because they're either the Wretch or they're, evil. So that has to be true. Means you're good. We have 2 outcast claims, but there's no counselor, so one of them is lying. So we have 1 to 2 evils between these. 1 to 2 evil. Number 3 or number 8 is a Witch. We have 4 right there, Wretch right there. Let me think here. 1 fake outcast, Bombardier fake from deck list. I mean, it could be the other way around, though. Could be the Wretch is the fake one. We don't know that. Let's see here. Jester. We can use Jester here. So we have 2 confirmed goods. So we can use Jester to confirm something. Alright, well, let's assume this is true. Well, let's assume this is a lie. If that's a lie, that means this would have to be the Plague Doctor, and then both of these would have to be evil. Okay, let's assume that. Let's just make that assumption and see if that works. If this is a lie, then this is the Plague Doctor, and there is a corrupted character, which could either be this Bard themselves, or something else, and then both of these would be evil, right? Which would be... which would mean that this is the witch, and they're the one away from the closest evil. I mean, that's technically possible, right? This Plague Doctor, Jester there, they're both evil. Let's assume that this is true, though. There's no corrupted characters. Then, I mean, that wouldn't be the Plague Doctor. Number 3 or number 8 is a witch. I'm the original Baker. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do this. Let me just go ahead and do this. I'm going to use the Jester, Hunter, Baker, Bombardier. There's 0 evils, is what this Jester's saying. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Let me go ahead and erase all this shit here. Okay. Let's assume that this is true. Okay? So, if this is true, then you are good, and you're evil. This is still true, obviously. But that would mean that 3 or 8 is the witch. Let's see. Somebody was saying that... let me think here. So, somebody was saying that the demon can't claim an outcast role. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Where are people finding this shit out, by the way? They're just telling me shit. Let's see. Let's see. So, number 3 or number 8 is a witch. This can never be fake because that will clash with the register keyword. It's a deliberate decision by the dev. Though, wait, the wretch can never be fake because that will clash with the register keyword? Is that true? Characters think I'm a registered character. You can check the demon thing by hovering over the demon keyword. Oh, interesting. Wait. Let me check that out. Demon. Always disguised as a unique villager. Cannot double claim a good character. Okay. Wait, can't double claim a good character. Oh, yeah, right. I got it. Got it. Okay. So, okay, well, that's... In that case, yeah. So... You couldn't have both of them be evil. Alright, so in that case... That one up there has to be a lie. Okay, let me go ahead and fill this out then. Alright, so this has to be a lie. Or no, this has to be true. Sorry, this has to be true, right? True, which means that you have to be good. And there's 1 to 2 evils there. One of them is legit, one of them is evil. I mean, if that's the case, then if what Will is saying is the case, then the Bombardier has to be the evil one right now, which would mean that the Jester's lying, but I don't want to rely on that quite yet. Not totally sure about that. Let's see here. So, 1 away from the evil, this is true. 0 evils. I just want to run through that. Let's just assume this is true somehow. Then you would be good, you would have to be evil. Which we're not sure if that's possible, but I don't want to make that assumption just in case, you know? Because the alternative was we're executing the Bombardier, which is an instant loss. Okay. Then this would be a lie, which would mean that you're the other evil and you're good, right? Now let's assume that this is a lie, right? If that's the case, then you're evil. And you're evil as well. And you're good. You're good no matter what, then. And you would be good. And number 3 would be the witch. And this would be the demon, right? So those are 2 scenarios. So what I'm going to do, instead of... Just to mitigate this, the scenario where the Bombardier is the evil one, that also means the Jester's the evil one. So it is the Ba. Okay. And that means that the Bombardier... Alright, there you go. So you may be right, Will. You may be right. Alright, there we go. You probably are right. But there we go. We're learning. Alright, we got Ba, we got Shaman, we got Wretch, Plague Doctor, Bombardier. And all this shit. Here we go. Okay. Number 1, Baker. I'm the original Baker. Man, we're getting like OG Bakers right off the bat every time. So we love that. We love that. Okay, so true right there, right off the bat. Let's go ahead and reveal you. We got another Baker saying that they were the Baker. Now, here's the thing. That's possible. That's possible because of the shaman. We could have had a double Baker scenario with the original Baker turning the Baker into a Baker. That's possible. So we can't have that off the table. All right. Number 3, Druid. 2 Druids. Okay. A Baker saying that they were the Knitter. We got a Bombardier, and we have a Bishop. Between 2, 5, and 4, there's a Villager, Minion, and Outcast. Now, here's the thing. All of our Outcasts are face up, so that necessarily has to be a lie, which means that all of these guys are good. Okay, so 2, 5, 4. Now, here, this is super powerful info because look at this. That means that this is the shaman pair, which means that there's a... This has to be evil right there, and you're evil. All right, there we go. That's crazy, dude. Crazy. All right. Baker turning Baker into a Baker is hugely powerful. Holy shit. All right, moving on, moving on. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? We got Lilith, we got Puppeteer, we got Bombardier, we got Wretch, and all that other shit. All right, here we go. Number 1, Druid. 2, Wretch, which apparently is always good. The more you know. So any other Outcast claims should be false. I don't know if I'm brave enough for that when Bombardier is the alternative. I'm 1 away from the closest evil. You have to be... This is true, and you're good. 100%. Alright, number 4 right there. Dreamer. Okay, number 6 is killed, so number 6 is good. Oh, what the fuck? That's a highlighter tool. No, I want to go back to the pen. There we go. Alright, so you're good. And let's keep moving along. Okay. Number 5, number 4 is good. Number 7, and number 8. Alright, is there any form of corruption on here? Lilith, Puppeteer, Bombardier, Wretch. Nope, so we can just go ahead and kill the Knight, which is Lilith. Okay, there we go. Easy money, easy money. Now we have a double claim between the 2 Druids, which shouldn't be possible. So one of them is the Puppet, and one of them is the Puppeteer. Yeah, well, there you go. See ya. Easy. Easy. Okay, moving on. Oh, we got a lot of characters this time. Interesting, I like this. Alright, we got Lilith, we got Shaman, we got Counselor, and we have 2 of Drunk, Bombardier, Plague Doctor. Okay, okay. Interesting stuff. Alright, let's start with number 1. Knight, which could be the Drunk, which could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor, so we don't want to kill him yet. We got Bombardier next. We have Baker that is saying they're the Gem Crafter, which is an insta-lie. Insta-lie. Lion fucking Bakers here, dude. Alright, we got Empress saying 1, 6, or 10 is evil. Alright, you are good. 1, 6, 10. So let's not reveal these to get a forced kill between one of these 2. Alright. Well, maybe. Okay, 9 is good. Let's do 9. We got Slayer there. Alright, so let me go ahead and do 6. And let's see if he kills them. Does kill them, and they were good. Okay, okay. So, you're good. Okay, okay. Counselor is 1 card away from the closest evil. Interesting. I was the Gem Crafter, which is a lie. Once again, so the corruption, there could be corruption here coming from a Plague Doctor. And that's about it. But if there is a Plague Doctor, they're hidden. Which is difficult. Like, Lilith with Plague Doctor is always such an interesting... It makes for interesting scenarios, because you can never rule, like, anything out. Alright, let's see, let's see. So, 1, 6, or 10. Counselor's 1 card away from the closest evil. Okay, man, we don't have a lot to go on here. Alright. Number 9 is good. Man. This is a risky setup. Okay, well let's do this. Let's do this. Let's assume that this is a lie. You know, actually, in fact, let's assume that the Empress is evil. No, yeah, Empress is evil. Let's say they're the evil one. That means the number 1 is good, number 6 is good, and number 10 we already know is good. Okay? So if that's the case, then we have 1 evil placed, 1 of 2 evils. You know, this would be a lie, obviously. And then this is saying number 9 is good. We have a Bombardier here. I was Gem Crafter, which is a lie. That lie could be coming from the hidden Plague Doctor there, or they're evil. Gall darn. You know, Counselor's 1 card away from close to evil. So, Alright, I think I want to use the Judge here. And the question that I have is between Judge checking the 4 or the 6. I'm trying to think of which one would be more useful, right? Probably the... Well, here's the thing. It's difficult. It's so difficult to place the second outcast here because they could go in so many places that I think I want to confirm... Try to confirm the Empress info here. They're saying the truth. Okay, so... Let's make a big assumption here. Let's say that you're good. Let's say that you're telling the truth, right? So this is true. And then that would mean that you're good, and then this is true as well. And that you're good, okay? And that'd mean that 1, 6, or 10 is evil. So that'd be one of these 2 is evil right here, right? One evil there. This is saying the Counselor's 1 card away from the closest evil. So, Counselor, if this is true, then Counselor couldn't go there. Man, this is a tricky one, man. I was Gem Crafter, Bombardier. I only get 1 kill, too. Alright, you know what? Let's try to assume the alternative, actually. I want to try to do that, okay? So, let's assume, then, that you're evil and lying, right? Then this is also a lie. And 1 is good, and 6 is good, right there. Just right off the bat, okay? And then this is a lie, and we have a lie there as well. And these lies could be coming from a hidden Plague Doctor, or they could both be evil. God, the Plague Doctor being on the script is fucking brutal. Or there could be a drunk. Dude, this is fucked up. This is fucked, dude. Okay, there's no double claims either. Bro. Okay. We're in a pickle here. We're in a pickle. I kind of just want to try to kill the Knight. I mean, if we kill the Knight and they're corrupted by a Plague Doctor, we can still lose. I haven't gotten an answer on if there is a Knight who is the drunk and we kill them. Do we insta lose? You receive 2 damage instead of 5 when you execute me. I thought that, oh, this must have been changed. Oh, there is a shaman. Okay, yeah. One of the kills was a shaman pair. You are correct. So one of them was a shaman kill, which means that there was a pair, but we don't know who they were paired with. But the other one could be the Plague Doctor, though, is the problem, right? There's a double plus gem plus real gem. No, the was gem is false because they said that right off the bat. That's impossible. That has to be a lie. And so that could just be anything. So if this was yeah, you lose 2 plus 4 HP. Drunk Knight. It's a nerf to yes, okay. Drunk Knight deals 6 damage, so I'd still die. God damn, bro. Okay, you know what? Let's try to use the Slayer here. So, okay, we know that number 3 is obviously lying. We don't know if they're corrupted. I'm going to try to use the Slayer on number 3, and if we kill, that's great for us. That's great for us, right? If we don't kill, then we're back at square one. But I gotta get something here, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Slayer. I mean, there's a pretty good argument that they're the counselor. Hey, there we go. Okay, that's huge. I think that saved us. That saved us. Because this comes into play now. Alright, we can solve this now. I think we can solve this. Alright, so basically, you're evil. You're obviously good and not drunk, so you're true. Okay, this is saying that 1, 6, or 10 is evil. Well, let's go ahead and erase all the blue here real quick, because this has been upended. Okay. So, we know that this is the counselor, and then that has to mean that unless this Empress is the drunk, then this Bombardier is legit. But okay, let's assume the Empress is the drunk, just for argument's sake, okay? So let's say that you're good, but this is a lie, and you're the drunk, which means that the Bombardier is fake. Let's assume the Bombardier is fake, is what I should say. So let's say the Bombardier is evil, okay? I just want to assume that. Then in that case, this would be true. Is the thing. And you would be good. We'd have 2 evils right there. This would be the drunk. Which would mean that this is a lie. Right there, right? We'd have both of our outcasts placed. Oh, I mean, okay, Gemcrafter's telling the truth right here. Gemcrafter is telling the truth, so... Or, sorry, not a lie. This is true. So let's say that you have to be good. Okay, so we've got 2 evils placed. That would mean, where does our other evil... That'd be the judge, right? Judge would have to be the evil one in this scenario. Which works. Oh, man. Okay, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, okay, but let's assume... Now, but if we assume the Bombardier's good, that doesn't give us anything. Counselor's 1 card away from the closest evil. Drunk, lie, 1, 6, 10. I killed at number 3, number 4 is saying... I was a Gemcrafter, number 9. Okay, so... Interesting, interesting. Number 4 is saying the truth. I believe our other outcast was drunk and got killed. Well, we don't know if the drunk... I mean, the knight could be drunk for all we know. I really hoped you would learn the info that you could have from seeing 10 villager cards. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, the Lilith makes things complicated. But Lilith is one of the more interesting demons I've found. Alright, so number 4 is saying the truth. Let's assume... Okay. Here we go. Let's assume this is true, once again. Now that we have the info that this is the counselor. So if this is true, then you're good, and you're good, and this is true, right? Which means that you would be the real Bombardier. There we go. So we have a confirmed Bombardier. We have this confirmed. You're all good. You're good. You're good. So we have to place 2 more evils, which would mean that you would have to be evil. There's no other place for the evils to go. So the judge has to be lying. Right? Well, okay, it could be knight. Wait, it could be scout, it could be knight. Right? Actually, yeah. Okay, so knight. Let's look through that, though, okay? Counselor's 1 card away from the closest evil, and that would be a lie, which is consistent there. Oh, man. Okay, wait. Number 1, number 6, or number 10. But that would have 2 evils there, right? So that would be a... Okay, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay. So the judge has to be lying here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Judge has to be lying. Which means that yellow is not possible. So this has to be a lie. Right off the the bat. Okay. Lie. We don't know if they're evil or good yet. Because they could be drunk. There could be a bunch of other shit going on. Oh, man. Okay, wait. So that's a lie. That means number 1 is good. So we don't even need to execute them. Okay. There we go. So number 1 is good. Number 6 is good. This is a lie. This is a lie. Counselor's 1 card away from the closest evil. You know what? I think I want to kill number 4. Because... Wait. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay, there's our 2 evils right there. Okay, there we go. Okay. Number 4 has to be evil. Shaman. There we go. And then Judge. Alright, man. Okay, that was a close one. That was a close one. That could have been the end of the run. Smooch-Lad, you got a unique... you got such a unique situation with 10 villagers cards in the deck list, and you didn't use that info. What do you mean? So 10 villager cards in the deck list equals 4 people each claimed a unique villager. Sorry, what are you talking about? Okay, wait. What do you mean here? What do you mean? 10 villager cards in the deck list equals 4 people each claimed a unique villager. Okay, I don't understand that. How is that? Is the way that the deck is constructed? How is the deck constructed? I thought it was just random. Is there a little tip about how the deck is constructed? I have not been using that information. 10 villager cards in the deck list equals 4 people each claimed a unique villager? I don't know what that means. Because I don't know, I guess I don't know how the deck list is generated, right? Meaning there had to be drunk. Alright, I don't know. I'm gonna move on. Maybe I don't understand how the deck list is created. That'd be on me. Let's go with number 1 here. Number 5 was affected by an evil. Alright, so how does evil affect anybody here? There could be counselor. It has to be counselor if that's true. Saying that number 5 would be replaced as a drunk or a doppelganger or some shit. Witness saying number 5 was affected by an evil, agreeing with them. It's not random. It tells you info. Well, so how does the count relate to anything going on? Like, so for example, like right here we have 5 villagers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. We have, was that 7? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7, so 5 of the 7 villagers listed will be in the lineup, right? What does that tell me? I don't know, whatever. Alright, so they're both agreeing with each other. Let's assume that's a lie. Well, let's keep moving on. Let's keep moving on here. Okay. Number 6 is good. And then Knight. And then both sides are equally evil. And we have 3 witnesses. And then cured 0 corruptions. Alright, so this is true right there. True. Which means that you have to be good because there's no puppeteer, right? Yeah, no puppeteer. Which means you're good, baby. Alright, there we go. Poet saying number 6 is good. We got Wretch and we got Empress here. So you're saying, meaning there are 2 unique villager claims. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. There's 2 unique villager claims. Because you're saying that, yeah, oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay, you're saying that there's only going to be 2 villager roles left out. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I don't know. Okay, I'd have to go back and watch it back on the last one to see if there was some conclusion I could draw. But that's interesting to know. Surely there's no way 3 people are claiming the same role in info without it all being lies. Yeah. So it's it is not possible for those all to be true, so they all have to be a lie, right? Yeah. So it's all a lie. It's all a big conspiracy, man. I'm just trying to think. There's no way for that to happen. Wait. Alchemist? Nope, no alchemist there or anything. Yeah, okay. So that all has to be a lie. A bunch of fucking lies here. Alright, lie. 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 And because they're lying, that means that there cannot be a doppelganger pair there. So at most, one of them could be a corrupted good, which would mean that they were drunk. But then the other two would be evil. So there's two evil between... There's 2 or 3 evil between all those. So this is saying both sides are equally evil. We have a knight here. We have Empress saying that 2, 9, or 6. One of them is evil. And you're saying number 6 is good. Okay, so... and we have a face-up... Okay, once again, I think Will was saying that wretches... Let's assume that this is true, that the wretch has to be good. Because that's a lot of info, okay? So wretch would have to be good, which means that there are no... no, there's one other outcast from the counselor, right? So if that other outcast was a doppelganger, it would have to be a witness, but the doppelganger would always tell the truth, but we know it's lying, so there has to be a drunk somewhere, but we don't know where yet, okay? So... let's see here. Number 6 is good. Let's assume they're all evil, alright? Let's assume they're all evil to start off with. Evil, evil, evil. This is saying both sides are equally evil, which would be a lie. Which means this could be the drunk. I mean, you'd be good, obviously. You'd be good. You'd be good. You'd be good. This is saying 2, 9, or 6 is evil, which would be a lie. Which means that we had 2 lies, which is not possible because... there's only one drunk, and it'd be one of these two would be drunk. So basically, there has to be one... Let's do this. Okay, so there have to be 2 evils... oops, sorry, 2 evils and then 1 drunk between these. So 2 evil, 1 drunk. There we go. 2 evil, 1 drunk. And then 2, 9, 6. Let's think here, let's think here. Both sides equally evil. Let's assume this is a lie, just to see if we can fit evils then, alright? Because if this is a lie, then it would be 2 is good, 9 is good, 6 is good. And then both sides equally evil. It'd be either one of these two is evil, right? One of those two. So let's try to use what Will was talking about, that there would have to be 2 unique claims. Yeah, I got you. Never mind. So we can't use that here, I don't think, because we have so many double claims right off the bat. 1 is evil, 2, 9, 6. So that's a lie, then knight's good. It'd be one of these two's evil. How do we differentiate between this? So let me instead, whoops, not what I wanted to do there. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and erase all this blue shit here. I want to try to assume that this is correct, actually. That's the assumption I want to make to start off with. So let's say that this is true, and that both sides are equally evil, right? We have a wretch in play. So that would mean that you're good, and we would have to have... I mean, the alchemist is good, so that would mean that there would be 2 evil over here and then 1 evil over here. So basically, where would the 2 evil go? Okay, let me think. 2, 9, 6. You know what? Wait. This has to be... Let's say it's false. Let's say it's a lie to start off with, actually. Because if it's a lie, that would mean that one side would have to have more than the other. And this one's already got 1, for sure. And this one's already got 1 as well. So that would mean that both of them would have to be on the same side. Which could be these... I don't know, man. That's not giving me much, actually. So, man. Yeah. Smacking all 3 would be good, but then figuring out the last evil is tough. I mean, if we get the counselor, though, that gives us some information. Worst case scenario, though, would be that we get the Ba and the twin minion. And then we still don't know where the counselor lands. And we're down. Yeah, I guess, okay, we lose 4 health. We get another kill. Yeah, I think you're right. So let's kill you. Alright, so that's counselor sat next to Wretch. So that works out. Let's kill you. Alright, twin minion. Okay, okay. So this one has to be the drunk now. This one has to be the drunk. Both sides are equally evil. If that's true, this knight is good. Well, the knight... Okay, wait. The knight can't be drunk, right? Yeah. Okay, wait. Let's try to kill the knight then. Alright, there we go. Knight is good. I should have seen that earlier because we knew the drunk was between those ones. So basically, you're good now. And, I mean, obviously those are evil right now. Number 2, number 6, and number 9. So basically, this is true, and you're good, and this is a lie, so the Empress is evil, and you're the demon. No, you're the drunk. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Why did I think that there have to be a drunk between the witnesses right there? Okay, I mean, I guess that means the other witness is also evil. I guess I made a wrong assumption there, but hey. All 3 evil claiming each other. That's interesting. Alright, here we go. We're continuing on. We got Ba, we got Shaman there, we got Puppeteer. So we have 4 evil this time. We got Bombardier, Plague Doctor, blah blah blah. Let's see. Knitter and all this shit. Okay. Number 1 here, we got Alchemist curing 0 corruption, so that means that this is true. Information. They could be the puppet though. But there's no, the only corruption is from the Plague Doctor. Alright, let's keep revealing. We got Knitter saying that there are 2 pairs of evil. Bombardier. Alchemist curing 0 corruption. I mean, this is true once again. We have a double claim here, so does that mean that they're doppelganger? Was the doppelganger up here? No, they're just shaman. So shaman is the one that added that. Okay, so that's the shaman pair, so they're confirmed good. Right? There's no other way. Yeah. Okay, they're confirmed good. So that's our shaman pair right there. Good stuff. Okay, pretty powerful. Let's move over here. We got Gemcrafter saying that number 3 is good. Let's see, number 3. Jester. Okay, we got Jester again. Architect saying right side's more evil, and then this one's saying Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. Alright, so one of these 2 Jesters at least has to be evil. So let's see here. Number 3 is good. Right side is more evil. Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. And we have our, I mean, is this a face-up outcast? I mean, yeah, it's a face-up outcast, so that means that the Bombardier is good. So Bombardier's good. We got a face-up outcast. We have a double claim between the Jesters there. Which means, let me think. There's 2 pairs of evil. So, I mean, the thing that the Knitter is telling us is if that's true, then they're not all in a line, right? So let's go ahead and assume that. Well, okay, but here's the thing, right? Let's assume this is true. And you're good. Right? Then that would mean that you're evil, and you're evil, and you're evil, and you're evil. Right? So this is a lie because they're evil, right? That means that both Jesters would be evil. This is saying right side is more evil, which is a lie then, as well, but you would have to be good. So what would be causing you to lie? It's possible the alchemist, one of the alchemists is a puppet. Is not possible. They have to be the puppeteer replaces a random villager. Well, okay, wait. Yeah, no, but I see what you're saying. No, but then, okay, there are 2 same villager rules. So you're saying the shaman could add in both alchemists, and then the puppeteer could turn one of those alchemists into a puppet, then breaking the shaman? That's possible? Okay. I mean, okay. I mean, that could be... I won't rule that out. I won't rule that out, because that could, I guess, technically be possible. 1, 2, 3 is 2 pairs. It's a programmer's 2 pair. But there's 4, right? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could be bum, 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 and then that. I see what you're saying. Okay, that's true. Alright. So I think we gotta start using our jesters here. Alright, well, this one has to be good. Okay, this one has to... No, it doesn't have to be good. Never mind, because we don't know if this is good. Alright. Number 3 is good. Let me just run through that. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, okay? So, these are 2 alchemists telling us the truth. Which means that, because of that, they would have to be added in by the shaman. And then you're saying the puppeteer could override that, turning that villager into the puppet after the shaman added them in? Is that really how it works? There are 2 same villager roles in the current village. Man, that would be interesting. Alright, well, let's assume that's true. Okay, let's try to assume that that's true. And see if we can make that work, okay? Because if that's the case, then one of these 2 is the puppeteer. And then there's still an evil between the 2 jesters. Okay. Man. Alright. I checked shaman moves after puppeteer, so actually a shaman pair cannot be puppeted. You're good. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, this is going to be hard to solve if that's a possibility. Alright, so they're good. Where are you finding this info? Is that on, like, the Discord or something like that? Maybe I should join the Discord. I'll become a super fan. I mean, I'm already probably there, to be honest. Let's be real. I'm loving this game. Just because I love Blood on the Clock Tower so much, I'm stoked on this game. Alright, number 3 is good. So, let's assume... Let me think. So, okay, if this is a lie... Let me assume this is a lie, alright? If you're lying... Then here's the thing. We have to have... It could be bum, 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 and that would be... That would make it true. It would be dum, dun, 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 and that would be true as well. So they would all 4 have to be in a row. Which means that you would have to be evil, and you would have to be evil, and you would have to be evil as well. And then this thing about the right side being more evil would have to be a lie. Which means that, well, once again, we can't differentiate between that. Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. That's not possible, though. So yeah, that doesn't work. So this has to be a true statement from up here, which means they're good. Alright, look at that. So this is true. Sam here, going to a Blood on the Clock Tower event later today, in fact. Hell yeah, dude. I'm going to one later in the month. So I did this big one with some friends that people organized, where we played, we got 50 people, and they're playing a roof. Super fun. Rooftop downtown. Good stuff. This next one apparently is going to be on a beach. So I'm like, hell yeah, brother. I'm in for this. Blood on the Clock Tower is such a good time. Alright, here we go. Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. So this is true. That means you're good. Okay. And that means that there have to be 2 pairs. So basically it's bum, bum, bum. So here are the 3 possibilities, right? Let's put this one in blue. So it'd be you. Or you. Or you. Right? So in either case, the sides are evil. So you're evil, and you're evil. This is the puppeteer. Oh wait, but you could be... Oh wait. They could be the puppet. I made an incorrect assumption there. That's true, but this could be the puppet. So I was making some incorrect assumptions. Let's back up. But we know that the puppeteer has to be lying, right? So let me go ahead and check like this. Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. Right side is more evil there. Let me check... Let me check if the other Jester is evil, actually. I think that's important. So let me go boom, boom, boom. There are 2 evils. Oh, wait, he could just lie. Never mind. Yeah, there wasn't a way to force that. Never mind. That doesn't really give us useful information. Okay. Shaman is 1 card away from the closest evil. If this is true... Let's assume that, that's true. Then you're evil, right? And we've got... Then you're good. And this is true as well. Meaning the right side is more evil than the left side. But that's impossible then. So, that one can't be true. And that other Jester has to be good, right? Yeah. Yeah. So this Jester has to be good. So you're good. And this is a lie. Which means they can't be the puppet. So this knitter up here is the puppet. Alright, there we go. And this is a lie. And then that right there is the 2 pair right there. Alright, there we go. Good stuff. Alright, moving right along. What had happened there? What was going on? Okay. Anyway, Puka, Twin Minion, Drunk, Plague Doctor, Bombardier, etc. Wait, what? What happened? Wait. Okay. That was weird. Interesting. Maybe I should put that as a bug report. Because there was no druid in the last one or anything like that. Anyway, I'm good. Okay, so we got a confessor saying they're good. So that's true. And we got Oracle right here saying that number 1 or number 7 is a twin minion. Number 7 is saying they're the Slayer. We got number 2 here, and it's saying number 3 is a real Oracle. Then number 5 or number 8 is a twin minion. We got number 4 saying there's only 1 pair of evil. Clockwise, and then Bombardier. Okay, let's see what we got. We got Bombardier, Plague Doctor, Drunk. So Bombardier is not confirmed. We have Puka, we have Twin Minion. Alright, so... there's only 1 pair of evils. Well, so the double claims there has to be at least 1 evil between the 2 oracles. Yeah, so 1 evil, 1 to 2 evils there. So 1 to 2 evil. So let's go ahead and assume that both of them are evil. If both of them are evil, then this is wrong. That's a lie, which means that they would have to be the Drunk. Which would mean that there's another evil over there. So there's only 1 evil right there. So 1 evil between these 2. 1 of them is good. Could be the Drunk, though. So it doesn't mean that 1 of them is telling the truth, necessarily. They're saying number 3 is a real Oracle. They're saying they're good. So let me try to use the Slayer right here on number 8, I think. Saying number 7 or number 1 is a twin minion. So let's go ahead and do that. Couldn't kill number 8. And let's see here. There's only 1 pair of evil. Closest evil's clockwise. Couldn't kill number 8. Number 3 is a real Oracle. Let's assume that this is a... this is true, right? Let's assume that's true. Then you're good. You're good. You're evil. That's a lie. So they'd either be the Drunk or evil, right? And then this is saying that there's only 1 pair of evil players. Closest evil clockwise, that would check out, potentially. So basically, it could be these 2 evil, right? Those 2 evil together. Let's keep going. Let's say that this is a lie instead. If that's a lie, then they're evil. You're lying, you're either the Drunk or you're, evil. There's only 1 pair of evils. So you would be good, saying number 1 or number 7 is the twin minion. saying, which would mean that you're evil, which would mean that you're the drunk, but then that'd be a lie right there. So that basically that has to be true. So that means that number 8 is the real Oracle. Or sorry, is the minion. Oh no, they're drunk. So, okay. Well, then in that case, you're evil. Okay, that's the Puka. I forgot it was Puka. I forgot. I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking it was Ba. I'm getting a little tired right here. Alright. So we got Puka though, we got the drunk out of the way, we got the Puka killed. This is a lie now, but that's because it's the Puka. This is saying there's only one pair of evil, so that means that there is not a pair of evil. So these both are good here. You're good, you're good. Couldn't kill number 8, so that doesn't prove anything here. Closest evil is clockwise. But that's drunk, which means the bombardier has to be fake. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, there we go, there we go. Okay. Let's pay more attention there. We got Lilith, we got Twin Minion, we got Witch, Plague Doctor, Bombardier, Poet, Enlightened, Fortune Teller, Judge, Gem Crafter, etc. Okay, let's go with number 1 here. We got Poet. I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. Okay. Let's go with this. 1, 5, or 6 is evil. Let's go with number 4 here. And let's go with number 8. Kills number 5, so number 5 confirmed good. Whoops. Let's put that in red. So, you're good. Closest evil is equidistant. That's pretty powerful info. If true. If true. Okay. So, 1, 5, or 6 is evil. 5 is dead, so they're not evil for sure. And let's go ahead and just reveal the other ones now. So, Bombardier, Judge, Medium, and this is saying they're the real lover. Okay. There we go. So, number 9 is a lover claim, because Medium wouldn't just be saying that shit. Let's see here, let's see here. So, which twin minion? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see. 1, 5, 6. Equal. Closest evil is equidistant. So, let me go ahead and, let's see, what are the sources of corruption? There could be a Plague Doctor. Potentially, right? I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. They're saying they're the lover. Lover would have been, good to get info from. There's a real lover. I want to check, Judge here on Enlightened. Saying the truth. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. Let's assume that this is true. And then you're good. And then this is true. And you're good. Well, if that's the case, then evil has to be equidistant, which means that, let's say that both of you are evil, right? Let's do you. So, if both of you are evil, then number 9 is a real lover, so that one's, you know, confirming that one. This would be true right here, because you'd be 1 away from this evil right there. This would be saying number 1, number 5, or number 6 is evil, so that would be a lie. If that was the equidistant pair right there. Which would be caused potentially by a hidden Plague Doctor. But let me see here, let me see. Hidden Plague Doctor. So let me see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unique villager claims right there. I want to check something. 60% chance disguised as a copy of a random villager or outcast in town. In town. Does that mean, no PD, decklist proves you have a real bombard. Now, why is that? So, what I'm saying, though, is couldn't you have, so you're saying, I mean, you're saying it's based off of, unique claims, right? But minions don't have to double claim, right? So, I mean, just because we have, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unique claims here, right? But we have 9 characters. 3 spare villagers and 1 spare outcast to fake claim. How do you know that it's actually 3 villager fake? Like, no, the deck list added 3 villager cards. That means all evils chose a villager card. Eight villager cards. 3 spare. Okay, wait. I'm trying to understand what you're talking about here, because this is new info to me. Okay, because we've got no PD. Deck list proves you have a real bomb bar. 3 spare villagers. Eight equals 5 plus 3. I mean, so there's 5 villagers. Are there always 5 reals plus 3 evils? Okay, so they can't, you can't have 4 fake villagers? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering what Cateron's saying. Just because there are 3 spare villagers, fake it. If no one is disguised as a villager, you'd have 5 villager cards on the deck list. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how it works. Alright, let's assume that's true then. Okay, if that's true... I'm just gonna make the assumption that's true. We'll go from there. So there's no Plague Doctor, okay? That would mean that there would be no form of corruption here. Which would mean that this would have to be a lie as well. Which would mean you'd have to be evil, right? Which would mean that those would be our 3 evils right there, meaning that you would be good, right? Let's assume, then, that the pair would be... It's added because it's needed. Okay. I don't know. That's news to me. It's just that there's mechanics in this game that are hidden, so I don't know if they're real or not, but I'll assume that's true. I'll assume that's true, which would mean that this is a real bombardier, okay? Let's go with that assumption and see if we fuck up. So let's go from there. Alright. So, Bombardier would be good in that case. And this is saying that 1, 5, or 6 is evil. Let's assume that this is a lie, which would mean that you're evil, because we know that there's not a Plague Doctor, supposedly. Also playing on the side, having, and have ended up in a situation where I literally just have 50-50 a real versus fake Bombardier. No info that could possibly distinguish which is which. Hell yeah, dude. It's brutal. Alright, so let's say this is a lie. That means that number 1 is good and telling the truth, because there's no Plague Doctor. And then number 5 is good and number 6 is good, telling the truth. Which would mean that this is true as well. Which would mean, yeah, so those are both good right there. And, excuse me, it's basically either these 2 are evil, or... Well, no, we have to have 3, we have to fit 3 evils in. So yeah, it would have to be that both of these are evil, right? So both of those were evil if this is a lie, and you're good. Let's assume that this is true instead, and that you're good. Well, if that's the case, then either 1 or 6 is evil. Okay. There'd be 1 evil between these 2, so that'd be 1 evil. Fortune Teller, we don't know about yet. Well, let's assume, okay, instead of doing that, oh goddamn, alright. Try to do this instead, here we go. Let's assume that the judge is evil then and lying, okay, in this scenario. So let's do that in a pink here. Let's assume that you're evil then, and this is a lie, which means that this would be a lie as well, and you'd be evil, and then that would be correct because the closest evil would not be equidistant, but then this would be true, you would be a real lover, but then that would be a lie, so that doesn't work, alright? So in this scenario, if we assume that number 3 is telling the truth, then the judge has to be good. Which means that, you know, you're good, but then you would be evil, which would mean that you're good because this would have to be a lie, right? So you'd be evil. This is saying that this would be true. So no matter what, this has to be true, and you're good. It's just a matter of, but then that'd be impossible. No, it would be these two evil, right? Well, no, that would be impossible. So it has to be that number 3 is lying. Alright, so twin minion right there. And that means that number 1 and number 6 are good. Which means that, yeah, it has to be this. Alright, there we go. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let me catch up with chat. Annoyingly, there's a hunter, blah, blah, blah. Endless mode adds a fake outcast in the deck list to add difficulty. What if the shaman switched the pair? Okay. Alright, well, it looks like what Will is saying is correct, so let's go ahead and use that assumption to move forward here. So this would mean, okay, so we have 8 villagers. So what Will is saying is that means that two of the evils have claimed villager roles, and one of them has claimed an outcast, right? So there should be an outcast double claim, and there should be an outcast claim from an evil, and then 2 villager claims from evils. All right, so let's go with that assumption. Let's assume that's correct. That'd be interesting. All right, so we got number 1 saying there's 2 pairs of evil. Let's go to here. So we got Druid there. We got Gemcrafter saying number 7 is good. We got Oracle here. We got number 10. The other is either an outcast or a dupe. I see. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you're good. This is saying that number 5 or number 3 is a shaman. Okay. Good to know. Let's go with, let's go here. And let's go here. Number 2 or 4 is a minion. And we'll go here. Between 1, 2, and 10, there's an outcast, minion, and villager. So 1, 2, and 10. Well, 10's dead. Okay. And let's go here. And that killed an evil. Alright, so that's a confirmed evil right there. We don't know which one yet. But that was evil, so that's pretty lucky. Alright. So 1, 2, 10. Is it okay, so number 2 or number 4 is a minion. So this one has to be true. So this is correct info, because if it was incorrect info, they would both be good. So you're confirmed good. Let's see, what are our outsider? So we have Plague Doctor or Doppelganger. We have not seen a Plague Doctor. There are 2 pairs of evil. We got Druid. So we have 2 Druids. We have 2 Oracles here. 1, 2, and 10. Okay. 7 is good. So this could be a Plague Doctor, technically, right? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so there could be a hidden Plague Doctor in spot number 10, is the problem. Okay, well, let's go like this. The first thing I'm going to do is, I want to assume that the bishop is lying, because that would give us a ton of info, right? So let's say that this is a lie, and that would mean that number 1 is a villager, number 10 is a villager, and number 2 is a villager, right? If that's the case, then the outcast would have to be a doppelganger, because we know this is evil, and it would have to be either the druids or the oracles. Yeah. If that is a lie. And if it's a lie, it couldn't be because of a plague doctor, so that would mean that the bishop would have to be evil. Right? And we have that this is an evil already, so that's 1 evil off the table. This would be the 2nd evil. And then this would have to be either a lie, or it would have to be true, in which case... Oh wait, this is saying number 4 is good. Oh, well, we already know right there. That's a lie. There we go. So, lie right there. So that's either from the hidden Plague Doctor up there, or they're just evil. This is saying number 7 is good. So, what I want to check is I want to check with the druids here. Let me go ahead and do this. So, the druid itself could be a doppelganger. I don't want to include any doppelganger candidates in this. I want to check you, and you. No outcasts. You. No outcasts. So they're both agreeing with each other, which is interesting. Alright. So they're both agreeing with each other. So that could be some powerful information, actually, I think. Let's assume that this is a lie. In this case. Whoops. We'll turn that in blue. So, let's assume that's a lie. And this is a lie. Now, what's this scenario, right? If they're both lying. Well, it's not a doppelganger pair, because the doppelganger would always be telling the truth. So there'd have to be at least one evil between the two. But that could be being caused by a plague doctor. So basically it could be one evil, one good. But let's assume they're both evil, right? So 2 evils between the 2 druids. Be you're evil, you're evil. That would be all 3 evils placed. Meaning that this would be a lie. Because they're not paired up, they're all over the place. So that would be a lie. This would be a, like, plague doctor, so PD. Number 5 or number 3? But this would be a lie as well, so there'd be 2 lies, so that just doesn't work. So basically, the druids either have to be both good, or one of them is evil, and one of them is corrupted. Yeah, okay. So, let's go ahead and assume they're both good, then. Let's assume that that's true, and that they're both good. Well, okay, we'll come back to that. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. I think there's better conclusions I can draw on here. Let's assume that number 6 is telling the truth. So let's say this is true. Then number 1, number 2, and number 10 would have to have one evil right there, right? So, 1, 2, 10. Remember, 2 of the evils chose unique. Because there are 2 additional villager claims. I see what you're saying, okay. So there would have to be 2 unique villager claims on the board from evils. Now, how does that play with Shaman, though? Right? Because Shaman says there are 2 same villager roles in the current village. Right? But there's 6 villagers, so how does that play with the Shaman? Does the Shaman make it so, like, there would be 5 unique villager roles and then 3 additional from the evils? Or does it just remove one of the existing evil ones, or sorry, existing villager roles and replace it with a different one? I don't know. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Villager role goes unused. Okay. So there are 2 unique villager rules there. Okay, well, let's go back to that scenario. So Shaman turned 1 villager to another one, and a card goes unused. Got it. Okay. So I'm getting a little tired right now. Let's see. The deck list stays the same. Number 7's good. Okay, well, let's go back to that scenario then, right? So let's say that they're both evil. I just want to make sure this is... I don't think this is possible, but let me try. So this would be a lie. This would be a lie, meaning that you would have to be an outsider, an outcast, so I'll put out right there. 1, 6, 10. Then, if that was the case, then there'd be all 3 of these, okay? But we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different claims. So among Bard, Baker, Dreamer, 2 died and 1 was turned to Shaman. Okay. No room for outcast death. I see. Let me back up here then. Okay. So number 4 is good. Well, let's assume that you're good, just to see how this would play out. So basically, this would have to be corrupted by a plague doctor, right? There's no other way for them to be good and lying. So if that would mean that they're a plague doctor, and then these are lies up here, right? So basically, you would be PD. This would be a lie, and then this would be a lie as well. And we'd have, like, a bunch of lies then. This would be saying that number 7 is good, and that number 5 or number 3 is a shaman. So we'd have at least one lie between those. I think that's just way too many lies, right? Because then this could be... let me see. 1, 2, 10. This would have to be true then, because the plague doctor would be in the number 10 spot, meaning you're good. But then between 1 and 2... there would have to be a minion. So I'm assuming it would have to be this would be the minion, because there'd be too many lies otherwise. So then you would be good, telling the truth, because you would be corrupted by the plague doctor. So this would be true, and there would have to be 2 pairs of evil players, which would mean that they'd all have to be in a line, right? Because that's the only way that that would be correct. So it'd have to be 3 in a line, but I don't think that's possible. I guess it could be this one. But then they'd be saying that they're good, which would be a lie, which would mean that they're evil. So it doesn't work. So I think the gem crafter on the bottom has to be evil, is what I'm seeing, what I'm getting here, okay? Gem crafter on bottom's gotta be evil. And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Okay. There we go. Alright, so shaman. So number 5, so that's true. Okay, that gives us a lot of info. Alright, so this is true. And you're good. So both of the oracles are good. Yeah, both of the oracles are good, so that's probably the shaman pair or the doppel pair. And between 1, 2, 10. Number 7 is good. This is true as well. So there was one double claim of an in-play villager role. Number 1, number 2, number 10. So basically, it's a... So now that we have 2 dead evils here, I don't think that... I mean, these both can't be evil, right? So one of them... I think they're both telling the truth. I think they're both good, right? I think. Unless one of them's evil and one of them's corrupt. But here we say, this says there are 2 pairs of evil. Let's assume that that's true, then it'd be all 3 of these in a row. I think that's correct, actually. I think that the bishop is evil. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill the bishop here. Alright, there we go. We got it. We got it. Alright, good shit. Good shit. Alright, moving right along. We got Ba, we got Shaman, we got Minion, we got Doppelganger, Wretch, Plague Doctor, Lover, etc. Alright, here we go. Lover, 2 adjacent evils. Alright. So 2 of 3 right there, if that's true. Which would be good. Okay, we got Scout. Shaman is 2 cards away from the closest evil. And they're saying number 7 is good. And they're saying that number 1, number 2, or number 9 is evil. Interesting. So where does corruption come from? There is a Plague Doctor. There's a Plague Doctor. Okay. We have a Wretch, which is apparently always good. So that is our 1 outcast, right? Accounted for? Yep, because we don't have a counselor. Okay, so 1, 2, 9. One of them is evil, supposedly. And they're saying that they're good. But here's the thing. So these are directly in conflict with each other, right? So this can't be a lie, I don't think, because there's no Plague Doctor. This one cannot be a lie. That one has to be true. So you're true, which means that there's 1 evil here, but this is also true, which means you're good. There should be an outcast CC, and then that CC is evil then. Alright, so then this would be a lie as well, because you would have to be good, but you would have to be evil. So the lover necessarily has to be evil here. They're the shaman. Alright, and that means that this number 2 is good. and telling the truth. So if they're telling the truth, but that is telling the truth because it's the wretch over there. So we have to keep revealing now. We have to keep revealing. Lover, so double claim right there. 2 adjacent evils. That's a lie. So you're dead, pal. Alright, so we got Ba. And then, let's see here. So, let's move over here. Number 1 was affected by evil. Well, that's a lie because they are evil. So, there we go. Look at that. Boom. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Didn't even need to reveal them all. Alright, we got Ba, we got Twin Minion, we got Doppelganger, Plague Doctor. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you're saying there's 4 villagers and then 1 evil disguised as a villager. Alright. So, let's see. So, we got 1, which is enlightened. Closest evil is equidistant. We got Architect, left side more evil. We've got Bombardier here. No character was affected by an evil. Now, that is true because the Ba only affects the deck list. So, this has to be true. And you are confirmed good. Alright. Good stuff. We got number 6, Druid, Scout. And Ba is 2 cards away from the closest evil. So there's a double claim on the Druid, which could be caused by a Doppelganger. But if there's a double claim here from a Doppelganger, and they're both good, let's see here. Then the Bombardier would be evil. Ba is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Evil's equidistant. So, let's see here. So, let's have both druids check the Bombardier versus these 2. Alright, so let's do this. There are no outcasts. So both druids are in agreement with each other. But, that should mean that the Bombardier's fake and that the Doppelganger pair is real. Let's assume that that's not true, right? Let's assume that the Bombardier is real, right? If the Bombardier's real, then this is a lie. And this is a lie, right? There'd have to be at least 1 evil between those 2, and then 1 would be what? There's no corruption, right? There's no corruption, so they would both be evil. So it would be you 2 evil, and that would be a lie, so that doesn't work. Okay, so the Bombardier has to be evil then. So let's go ahead and execute them. Alright, so that's a Twin Minion right there. We have a Doppelganger between the 2 druids there. Okay. Closest evil is equidistant. And left side is more evil. So if that's true, then it would be one of those 2. It would be specifically the Scout. But let's assume the Scout is telling the truth. That it would be not the Druid, but the Architect. So if this is true, it's the Architect, and then that would be true because they'd be equidistant, right? If, yeah, I mean, that just works, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. There we go. Good stuff. Okay. We got Ba, we got Shaman, we got Ratchet, Doppelganger, Bombardier. I'm thinking that I'm going to be going for a while, man. I might be coming up on the goddamn... my time limit for today. I thought I was going to die a little sooner. Okay? Let's see, alright. We got 1 there, we got a Judge, we got Dreamer, Hunter, Enlightened, Hunter, and Enlightened. So we have a lot of double claims. Okay? Well, there's a Doppelganger in play, there's a Shaman in play, so there are 2 legitimate double claims from the Shaman and the Doppelganger, but one of them is not correct, obviously. Let's see here. So we got 2 judges, closest evil counterclockwise, and this one's saying clockwise. So these are kind of like in agreement with each other. This is saying that there's 1 away from the closest evil. So the Dreamer, let me think here. So the Dreamer has to be good. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unique claims, right? So both unique characters have to be... No. One of them is the demon. So basically between... No, the Dreamer has to be the demon, right? No, 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 wait. One of the double claims could be both evils. Claiming the same thing, but no, but then, there's one additional role, meaning that, so, okay, if what you're saying is correct, right? There's 4 villager claims that are unique, right? And then there's the one additional one from a minion claiming a villager, right? But then the shaman replaces one of them with a dupe. So because there are only 4 unique roles, then this would have to be the demon, right? Isn't that correct? Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, so you're right, you're right. So Ba, yeah, had to be the demon. So this is true, then. So you're true. Or sorry, that's correct. Minion can counterclaim the demon unique claim. Yeah, they can, but there's only 4 roles here, right? So based on what you were saying, then there have to be, you know, that there can... Yeah, okay, there's 3 unique villager roles. Yeah, okay, there we go. No, I think it had to be, right? Because what Will is saying is that there are 5, you know, there's 4 unique villager claims, and there's only 4 out there. So that means that one of those claims got replaced by the shaman, which means that a unique one had to be the Ba. No, like it could have been them both claiming the same thing. Yeah, no, I think that was correct info. Anyway, what were they claiming again? They're claiming Dreamer. Okay, well, that doesn't give us any information. It's all bullshit. Alright, so this is true, though. This is true. Alright, so true, and you're good. This is saying closest evil is clockwise. Shaman removed a villager, though. Yeah, but you would have started with 4 different unique claims. And there are 4 unique claims on the board. So you're saying that... No, but one of the... sorry, this is what I'm thinking. Because there are 5 unique characters here, right? That means that one of these 2 has to be claiming one of these characters, right? And then the shaman removes one. But because there's 4... I don't know, whatever, I got it right. I have to wrap my head around that. Anyway, whatever. We got it. So this, you're good. You're good. I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. So that has to be true. I could check if one of the judges is lying. Counterclockwise. True, and you were claiming to be Dreamer right there. I mean, the Dreamer, this gives us no info. Let's say Ba claims Judge, and then Shaman can claim Judge. Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so basically Ba and the other minion could have claimed Judge together, is that what you're saying? And then we would have 3 other claims out there. Okay, yeah, I guess that would work. You're correct. Alright, well, whatever. I got lucky. Anyway, here we go. So, closest equal clockwise. I mean, that lines up so far. Well, if this is true, let's assume that's true, okay? So, true. Then, you would be, evil. So, yeah, you would be evil up here. Which would mean this is a lie. Which would mean that you're good. Which would mean this is true. And then that's both of our evils right there, right? These 2, just like that. But let's assume that... and then both of these judges would be, you know, good. Let's assume that you're evil instead. So if you're evil, then... Because the closest evil is clockwise, which would be false, right? But then you would be good, saying that the closest evil is counterclockwise. That works out. And then... So both of the judges are good no matter what, is what I'm seeing, right? So both of the judges are good no matter what, and they should be giving us good info. So let me just go ahead and check this. So are you telling the truth? He's telling the truth. Are you telling the truth? They're lying? Okay, so you're evil. There we go. There we go. Alright, good stuff. Alright, here we go. We got Lilith here. Lilith. Poisoner. You can always ask judges if confirmed people are lying to check the judges themselves. Yeah, the judges there are good, though. Yeah, but would always be good. So Lilith here, Poisoner, Wretch, Bombardier, Drunk. So we got a lot of potential misinfo. Okay, number 1, we got Jester. Number 2, we got Judge. Number 3, we got Slayer. And number 4, we got Bombardier. Killing number 8. So number 8 is a confirmed good. Alright, and let's go ahead and flip you over. There's only one pair of evil. There are no corrupted characters, Wretch and Knitter. Alright, so we know that Wretch is always good, which is very useful. But there are two of these. So this could have been a Bombardier, but then well, this could have been an Outcast, which means that this Bombardier could still be evil. But this is saying evils are not adjacent to each other. I'm not saying there's no corrupted characters. Well, if there's no corrupted characters, then that would mean that there's no Drunk, and that the Poisoner would have to be sat between both Outcasts. Or between an Outcast and a Demon. So let's try to make that assumption. Alright. So if this is true, then these could both be good. Well, let's not make that assumption yet. Actually, we know Knitter right here, we have a double claim between the two. And so that means that one of them has to be evil, at least, right? And they're not agreeing with each other, yeah. So there's one evil here, at least. 1 to 2 evil. Let's say... Let's see. Doppel Judge, let's go. Fortune Teller claim had to be killed, right? Fortune Teller claim had to be killed? Well, I mean, that's what I did last time. I wasn't sure if you're talking about this one or last one. Alright, so we got, let's see here. Slayer, Judge. Evils are not adjacent to each other. No corrupted characters. Jester right there. We got Slayer. I mean, so we could hard confirm the Slayer by killing the Wretch, but that just seems like kind of a waste, because we know the Wretch is good. So, let's try to narrow this down. Now, okay, now this is interesting. I don't think they can both be evil, right? Let's say that they're both evil. That would mean that there would have to be 2 pairs of evil, but then they would be too far apart, right? Because there's the Wretch, and then there's just one of each, right? So it would have to legitimately be 3 in a row. So they cannot be both evil, so it's 1 evil between the 2 of them. So it could be, potentially, that these are both Outcasts, and this is the Poisoner sat between both of these, which would be pretty funny. But we'll come back to that, and we got Jester right there. There are no corrupted characters. You know what? I think that that's interesting enough that I want the Slayer to shoot here. Couldn't kill 5. Okay, couldn't kill 5. Judge, let's assume that... Couldn't kill 5. There are no corrupted characters. Evils are not adjacent to each other. So I think I want to kill number 9, and that would give us a lot of info. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. Alright, so this is evil, and they're lying, and this is true because the Poisoner sat between either an evil and... Okay, so then this is true. There's only 1 pair, so that means that, yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is the 1 pair, meaning both of these have to be good right here. Alright, so you're good, this is a lie, so they would either have to be corrupted or they're lying. Let me see. What have we got? There's no, there could be a Drunk, though. But no, we have both of our Outcasts, Outsiders accounted for here. So Slayer just has to be evil, right? Yeah. There we go. All right, we got him. We got him. We got him. All right, Village 25. Man, you know, it's honestly like I'm tired, but like also I don't have AC in this room, so I'm burning alive, man. But we got to keep going. I committed to doing this, and I've got at least 2 hours left before I have to leave for dinner. Now we got Ba, we got Puppeteer, Bombardier, Plague Doctor, Doppelganger. We got all this other shit. All right, there we go. So let's just let's use this new logic that we found out. So basically, we've got 5 villagers, 7 unique claims. So that would mean, or I mean 7 of these. So that means that both evils are claiming villagers, right? So that would mean that that there should only ever be one outcast. Yeah, I think. Because there's nothing replacing anything here, except the Puppeteer. But then they turn a villager into the puppet. So, okay. So there should be all unique claims here, if I'm understanding this correctly. Alright, number 1, I'm dizzy. Okay, so that's a lie, obviously. And we got number 2. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Number 8. Yeah, so if there's a dupe, you found the doppel. Got it. Alright, I'm understanding this now. Bob's 1 card away from the closest evil. They're the original baker. Huge. You're good. This is true. And we got another baker saying they're the Oracle, Bombardier, and Alchemist. Alright, so this is true, but they were not, to note, they were not turned into the baker, so that means that this baker is either corrupted or you're the puppet. Potentially. Alright, so but we found our 1 outcast from Bombardier, which means the Bombardier has to be good. And they're saying that it cured 0 corruptions. Now the Ba is 1 card away from the closest evil. So I'm going to assume that there's well, there's no double claim, so you have to be good, and this has to be, it doesn't have to be true, necessarily. They could have been corrupted. What would they be corrupted by, though? Could not be corrupted by anything. There's no corruption because there's no Plague Doctor. So that means that's true, so that means that this is the puppet, and that's the Puppeteer. Alright, well there we go. Puppet, Puppeteer. Just like that. There's no corruption, so it's Confessor as well. Alright, there we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, now I understand what you're saying, Will. That gives you a lot more dimensions to logic things out on. I get it now. Alright, so we have a counselor, we have a Ba that replaces 1 villager with an outcast role, and they sit next to an outcast. And so we've got 4 villagers, and there should be 1 additional outcast there. Okay, got it. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Wretch, which we know is always good. Alright, there we go. And we got Knight. Now, Knight could be corrupted by Plague Doctor, so we don't want to kill him just yet. We got number 3, which is also a Knight, which is a double claim, which there is a Doppelganger, so technically could be a Doppelganger. We'll come back to that. Okay, we got number 4, which is a Lover saying there's 2 adjacent evils. Hunter, I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. Closest evil clockwise, we have a Dreamer. Okay. So, we have 1 face-up outcast and 1 doppelganger. So that means that the Knight pair is a confirmed doppelganger pair. So they're both good. It's the only double claim in town. So we have 3 confirmed good here. And they're saying there's 2 adjacent evils next to them, which is a lie. And the lie would not be coming from anywhere other than them being evil. So they're evil. And that's the Ba right there. And then they're saying I'm 1 card away from the closest evil, so that's true. And then they're saying that their closest evil is clockwise, which is a lie. Well, no. Not necessarily, because this could be evil. So let's check you versus that. Saying that they're the counselor, so it's the Dreamer right there. Alright, boom. Good stuff. Okay. We got Puka, we got Twin Minion, we got Wretch Doppelganger. 1 outcast. We have 1, 2, we got 6 villager rolls. That means that 1 claim will be coming from evil. Alright, so we'll figure this out as we go. Let's go ahead and go here. Medium, number 7 is a real jester. A real jerk. Okay, number 2. Number 6 was affected by evil. Alright, alright. Number 6, we got Slayer. Number 3, Jester. No adjacent evils. Jester there. 2 lovers and an oracle. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unique claims, which is all of these claims. And that means that there has to be a doppelganger. There has to be a doppelganger in play anyway because there's no outcasts. So it's either one of these 2 or one of these 2, and then otherwise there's a double claim. Yeah, okay, got it. So number 7's a real jester, a real boy. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about lovers. If, the lover could be saying that if they're sat next to the puka anyway. Anyway, I gotta go, but very, yeah, you picked on the Red Eagles proven a decklist reading will crush the endless mode. Yep, alright, best of luck. Hey, peace out. Glad you enjoyed watching, and yeah, thanks for the help. Thanks for the tips. It's good learning this. Good learning this stuff. Alright, so, to note, lover is like only useful, really, if they're sat next to the twin minion. But anyway, let's assume, though, that this is true. Okay, let's assume that's true. Yeah, actually, this will be interesting. So if this is true, then you're good, obviously. You're good as well, and you're good as well. Which would mean that you're the Dop, right? And then you're evil up there. Which would mean that this is a lie. And this would be number 6 is affected by an evil. Which would probably be true, because that could be the puka up there. Twin minion right there. And so them lying would basically mean that they have to be evil, right? Or I guess this could be evil. Number 5 or number 3. Oh, that'd have to be a lie as well. Alright, so we'd have a lie here. And then this is saying number 6 is affected by evil. So we'd have these lies. So I think this would have to be the puka. Yeah, this would be a lie. You would be evil, and you would be the puka, and you'd be good, and you'd be good, right? And then you would be good. And you could slay or shoot. Either one of these 2 would all be good, okay? So, that would all be good. Let's assume that, the alternative, right? Well, that all works. That all works. So let me go ahead and try to disprove this world by having the Slayer shoot the medium. Let's go ahead and... Actually, let's have him shoot the Jester here. Alright, so that is a minion. That's a twin minion right there. Which means that this has to be a lie, right? Because that's not number 5 or number 3. Let's see here. Let's see here. So, they're confirmed good. And number 6 was affected by an evil. Which is not true. That's a lie. So I think it is just this. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we got it. We got it. Boom. We're cruising, man. We're cruising. Alright, we got Ba, we got Witch, we got Bombardier, Plague Doctor, Wretch, Enlightened Lover, etc., etc. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let's figure this out. So let's start with number 1. Lover saying 1 adjacent evil next to them. Bard saying they're 3 cards away from the closest corrupted character. Number 8 is a real architect. Okay, number 8 is a real architect. I don't think architect is particularly useful, so I'm going to keep revealing and save that one for last. Alright, Bombardier there. Okay, has 1. Alright, so we got 5 villagers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 villagers there. So that means that both evils should be claiming unique villagers, which means the Bombardier should be good. Alright, so Bombardier being good is interesting. Okay. And then let's go here. Confessor saying that they're dizzy. So that's, you know, for sure either evil or corrupted. If they're corrupted, that's coming from the, well, that's not coming from anything, so they're just confirmed evil. Alright. We got the Witch. Alright. Wow, I can't believe you're 28 rounds done. Yeah, me neither. We've been cruising. Got a little bit of help from chat, though. They've been giving me some tips, particularly Will. Will gave me some good info about how the deck list is made up. But here we go. Alright, so we got number 7 now, and then we got number 8. Which is saying that both sides are equally evil. Okay. If both sides are equally evil, that means that one of these has to be evil. Well, there's no corruption, right? So that would mean that... Yeah, there's no corruption at all. So, closest to evil is equidistant. If that's true, it would be you. Well, there's no corruption, so you have to be evil. Yeah, there we go. Alright, boom. Good stuff. We keep moving on. We keep moving on. What have we got? We've got Ba Witch Counselor. We have 7 villagers here. We have 2 of them. So 2 of the 3 of these are going to be claiming villagers. Or double claiming each other or whatever. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, let's figure it out. Alright, we got number 1. Confessor saying they're good. Very powerful start. So true right there, and you're good. And then, let's flip you over. Fortune Teller, Confessor, I am dizzy. So that's obviously a lie right there. You're like Medium Sprite. Yeah, she's got some swag. Or no, Medium. Which one's Medium again? I thought you were talking about Fortune Teller. Medium. I can't remember which one the medium is. We'll get back to that some other time. Pretty soon. Alright, so Confessor's saying they're dizzy. What could that be coming from? That would be a drunk, potentially. Just drunk is the only way that that's right. In which case, that couldn't be possible, though, because the drunk has to claim an out-of-play role, right? Yeah, so this Confessor is just evil, and they're the witch. Alright, we got them. We got them. Alright. Confessor saying they're dizzy. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It has to be... Yeah, you have to be evil. Alright, we got Counselor. Alright, so Counselor means this has to be an outcast. Let's find out what the outcast is. Alright. Outcast is, drunk or doppelganger. Whichever one. We'll have to find out. Alright, we got all this shit. We got all that shit. Okay, left side is more evil. Alright, so we got double claims of night. But there's no corruption. They can't be the drunk, so let's check both knights. That's a doppelganger pair. So this is the drunk. Saying I'm 1 away from a corrupted character. Okay. And then the left side is more evil, which is impossible. So that's the lie, so Architect is evil. There we go. Boom. Alright, moving on, moving on. We've got Ba, we got Minion, we got Witch, we got Wretch, Plague Doctor, Doppelganger, etc. Alright, let's move on with number... Oh, I guess I already revealed Slayer without intending to do so. Alright, we got Judge up here. Architect saying right side's more evil. I cured 2 corruptions. I find that highly dubious. Seeing as there's only 1 source of corruption here. So that's obviously a lie. But they could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. So let's keep going here. Plague Doctor, Knight, Oracle, Lover, and the last one can't be revealed. Alright, so let me count this up again. So we have 7 villager claims with 5 villagers. Yeah, okay, got it. So the Plague Doctor doesn't necessarily need to be real, I don't think, but let's go ahead and use the Plague Doctor to check the Alchemists. They're saying that they're not corrupted, which would be interesting. Okay. Let's have the Slayer shoot the Alchemist. Couldn't kill number 4. Okay. So we got some interesting info here. Let's say number 9 or number 5 is a minion, and they're saying they're adjacent to 1 evil. They're saying the right side is more evil. So let me go ahead and figure this out again real quick. So, Ba, Minion, Witch, and then Wretch, Plague Doctor. So... Are there any double claims, first of all? We don't see any face-up double claims. There could be a double claim with number 9, though, right? 1 evil adjacent. They're saying number 9 or number 5 is a minion. Okay, well, let's assume... Let's assume this is a lie, right? Alright, so... If this is a lie... I mean, then you're evil, obviously. And you're good, but you're corrupted. But if you're being corrupted by a Plague Doctor, which would mean that this would have to be a Plague Doctor, right? So this would be PD, which would mean that you're good. This is saying that number 9 or number 5 is a minion, which would be true. They would specifically have to be a minion right there. And, They couldn't kill number 4, so this would be... I don't know. We wouldn't know anything about that yet. One evil adjacent to them. So that would be a lie right there. And the corruption would be coming from this Plague Doctor, so you would be evil. So we'd have our we have 2 evils right there. And what are the minions and shit? Witch and minion and Ba. Okay, so we have 2 evils right there. This would be a lie as well, which would mean that you would be evil. So lie right there. And then you would be good, you would be good, you would be good. Okay. And you would be good. Alright, so that's world number 1. World number 2 is that this is the real Plague Doctor and they're not corrupted. Okay? If that's the case, world number 2 would be you're good, this is true, you're evil. Okay? Well, if you're evil and you can't kill number 4, then you would be corrupted. So they could be corrupted and lying or something like that. It's saying that number 5 or number 9 is a minion. So we don't know anything about number 9 yet. Alright, so what I want to do, I think, is I want to check if this is true with the judge, I think. On the Oracle, potentially. The Oracle. Or do I want to check number 4? Or I could check the Alchemist and confirm the Judge. I don't think confirming the Judge is as good. I think I'm going to have number 1 check number 7. They're saying they're lying. Okay, well that's interesting. That's interesting. So let's try to see if that is if that's true. Okay. So let's see if that's true, what that implies. So let's say true here, right? True. You'd be good. This would be a lie, which would mean that number 9 is good and number 5 is good, and that this would be evil right here because he'd be good, and this would be true. That would be our 1 outsider right there. This could be the corruption from the Plague Doctor, but we don't know. Alright, so couldn't kill number 4, which would mean that this is a lie as well. This one's saying right side is more evil. It could be these 2 to make that true. 1 evil adjacent to me, and then that'd be the knight right there. Okay, so knight there. Is it possible for the knight to be corrupted is what I'm wondering. So we got these 2, 1 evil adjacent. It could be these 2, and that would all work, right? Because you'd be evil, that would make this true. And then you'd be evil, and that'd make this true. And then the knight would be good. Yeah, I mean, that's all checking out. That's all checking out. 1 evil adjacent. Right side more evil. Alright, so I think I want to check if the judge, what would happen if the judge is lying. Let's go through that rigmarole, that scenario. So if the judge is lying instead. So this is a lie, which means this is true, which means you're good, which would mean that either number 9 or number 5 is the minion, right? You know what? I think I gotta try to kill somebody here. I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to kill this alchemist here. Alright, so the alchemist is the boss. That means the Plague Doctor's real. Okay. And now I can go from here, alright? So if this is true, then you're a minion. Yeah. So this is the real Plague Doctor. There's no other outcasts. Which means that there's no doppelganger. There's no double claims, though, anyway, right? So let's go ahead and try to kill number 9, I think. I'm going to try to kill number 9. That is a minion. Alright, so that's telling the truth there. Okay. Which means that this is a lie, which could be the corruption from the Plague Doctor up there, but this is true. This is true. So that means you're good. You couldn't kill number 4. So one of these 2, and this is saying that the right side is more evil. So it is one of these 2, so you're good. It's all confirmed. So I think it's just a shot between these 2, and I'm going to kill the Slayer here. No, Slayer was corrupted, so it's you. Alright, there we go. Alright, we got him. We got him. Alright, what do we got now? We got Ba, we got Counselor. Doppelganger, Wretch, Bombardier, Plague Doctor. Okay, let's go ahead and flip over number 1. And Bombardier, Wretch. So we got double claim of... well, we got 2 outcast claims, but the counselor adds 1 outcast. Also, let's count these up. So there's 6 of these, 5 villagers, meaning that there's going to be 1 villager claim, which means that either both of the evils are claiming the same villager, or... well, no, but the counselor replaced one of those villagers with a... no, but they're... yeah, okay. They're either going to be claiming the same thing, or there's going to be an extra outcast claim, right? Alright, and the Wretch is always good. So let me put that in red. Okay. So outcast is always good. Let's move over here. So number 4 is saying no adjacent evils, which is a blatant lie, because the Wretch is always going to register as being evil. So... what causes lies here? Plague Doctor, potentially. Let's keep revealing. There is a Plague Doctor, okay. And then... boom. They're saying that they're good. Alright, so we got a confirmed good here. This is true. Now, one of these 2 is evil. Which... could be like the Plague Doctor corrupting the lover, right? Let's see, the Jester here... so we have 2 confirmed good, but one of them is the Wretch. So... we can use this as a control, as a base 1 for the Jester, and then see if somebody else is evil, potentially. That's kind of what I want to see, I think. I think I want to pit that against him. So basically, I think I want to go Confessor, Wretch, Bombardier here, is what I want to go with. For the Jester. Let's go ahead and do that. There are 3 evils. Well, that's impossible. Okay, so that is a straight up... that is straight up false, buddy. So that's a lie. So we have 2 lies so far. So there's at least 1 evil between these 2. We got Fortune Teller here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to check if Fortune Teller... do I want to check the Bombardier, or do I want to check the Jester with the Fortune Teller, is what I'm wondering. Or I could use the Plague Doctor. Actually, Plague Doctor on Jester would be interesting. Or Plague Doctor on Lover would also be interesting. I think, either one is fine. I think it's about the same thing. I'm going to use Plague Doctor on, I'm going to use Plague Doctor on Jester here. Plague number 7 is not corrupted. Dreamer checks Wretch. She gets a unique line if Dreamer is real. Check Dreamer description. Really? Let me check. Pick 2 characters. Learn if any of them is evil. What? Anyway. I cannot register as good or as a wretch to any other characters. Got it. Good evening to the absolute intellectual lead of YouTube. Nice to meet again. Oh, nice to you, DKB. Yeah. I mean, honestly, chat is the, oh, Dreamer. Sorry, that was Fortune Teller. Yeah. Dreamer. If not lying, Wretch looks like a cabbage to me. Oh. Oh, okay. That's a useful use of the, Dreamer. Okay, well, there we go. They're confirmed. Confirmed good. And this is true. All right, there we go. We found a unique use for the Dreamer. We love to see it. Okay. So Plague Doctor is saying that number 7 is not corrupted, which would imply that the Jester is evil. Okay. Let's see here. Number 7 is not corrupted. No adjacent evils. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fortune Teller to check Confessor with Jester. True. All right, I'm gonna kill the Jester. All right, so this is true. That's the real Plague Doctor, which means the Bombardier is evil. There we go. We got him. We fucking got him. What about using plus and minus instead of writing true/lie? That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I was thinking about, let's do that for shorthand. Hey, you're smart. You're saving me time. Alright, we got Puka, we got Poisoner, Doppelganger, Drunk, Bombardier. With 2 outcasts. And then we've got 7 villager claims. Which means that both of the evils are going to be claiming unique villager roles. There we go. Alright, number 1, we've got Knitter, we've got Bombardier. So that's a confirmed good. You are a confirmed good. And we got number 3, we got number 4, no evils adjacent to me. I cured 2 corruptions, which I don't even think is... No, we have a Puka. It could be possible. It could be possible. Alright, we got this, we got you, we get you. There's only 1 pair of evil. We've got a Scout. Alright, so... We've got the double claim of Knitter, but that can only be because of the Doppelganger. Because we have 2 unique claims from the evils, so they're both confirmed good, but one of them has to be lying, which means they're corrupted. So you're good, one of you is the Doppelganger. The Doppelganger's telling the truth, the other one is corrupted. Now, if one of them is corrupted, then the Alchemist has to be lying. Yeah, the Alchemist has to be lying here, right? Alright, and we've gotten the Doppelganger pair right off the bat, which means there's no Drunk. So it's Bombardier Doppelganger, and the Alchemist is lying here. Alright, so let's go ahead and write that in. So this is a lie. And then no evils adjacent to them. We got the Druid, so let's have the Druid... I mean, basically the only thing the Druid can tell us is if they're lying or not, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So boom. You. There's a Bombardier. Alright, so they are telling the truth. So this is good. You're good. Evils are not adjacent to each other. So we've got 4 confirmed good, which is pretty damn good. Puka's 1 card away from the closest evil. So this means that because there has to be... Well, no, this judge could be like a poisoner or a Puka poisoning you, corrupting you. So let's figure this out. No evils adjacent. So this can't be the Puka. That can't be the Puka because they're telling the truth. So Puka can basically go here, 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 here. One of those 4. So I think, here's the thing. Do I want the judge to try to confirm this? I think I do. I want the judge trying to confirm this claim. I'm pretty sure this is false. Let's see. Drunk spawns, one of the village cards is reserved for Drunk, in which case there's no card for the minion. It has to CC someone else. I see. Oh, okay. Alright, well in that case I gotta start this over then. That's a valid point, There could be a Drunk still, and then there could be a double claim between the 2 Knitter pair. But I think that this one of them has to be telling the truth, though. So, one of them has to be telling the truth, because there's no way to have 2 pairs of evil. So, but one of them could be a minion. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so... One of them has to be good, though. Alright, so I'll say at least 1 good. Well, I don't know. We'll just keep that in mind. And then this one has to be good. And, oops, big-ass check mark. Alright, this has to be good. This has to be true. So you could still be, I guess, technically telling the truth. No, you couldn't be. You couldn't be because there would have to be... I don't know, we'll get back to that. Okay. Puka's 1 card away from the closest evil. Okay, we know the Bombardier's good again, so that's all good. So, I can use the Jester to try to check... I'm going to check the Alchemist with the Jester here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go boom, boom, 2 confirmed good plus Alchemist. They're saying that there's 1 evil. So I think killing the alchemist gives us a lot of info here. Alright, so that is the poisoner. That's the poisoner right there. Which is not poisoning this jester. And jester's confirmed. So that's good. Right there. Could be corrupting this, or this could be another evil, right? Well, no, it couldn't be an evil, because if this was evil, they would corrupt this jester right here. So they are good, and this is corrupted. Alright, so we have these as confirmed good. You're evil, you're good. And then now, there's only one pair of... Well, this has to be the lie, right? Because the poisoner's isolated here. So this is a lie, which means that this one has to be true, which means that they have to be good. So now the evil is between these three. It's saying Puka is one card away from the closest evil, so that is also a lie. So these two are both lying, and so I think that that probably means that... Well, first of all, well, no, if this is a doppelganger, this could still be the Puka corrupting you. So I think I want to do... So there's no statements that we don't know whether they're true or false at this point. So I just need to use this to check if the judge is good or evil, or lying, I guess, but lying, basically. So let's go ahead and check you. So they're saying they're telling the truth, so that's big. So you're good and you're telling the truth. So that can't be the Puka anymore, which means that you up here have to be the Puka, and this is the doppelganger pair. Alright, there we go. There we go. Good stuff. Alright, we got Ba, we got Minion, we got Drunk Bombardier, Plague Doctor, Wretch. We have 4 villagers with 6 claims. But you said, as you said earlier, the Drunk is reserving one of those claims. So we could either have both evils claiming the same villager, or they're going to be claiming a... But there's 2 outcasts. Alright, so let's just start out and see what's up. Confessor's saying they're dizzy. Okay, so this is a lie, obviously. And then this is saying number 5 or number 3 is a minion. Number 5 is a slayer. Number 3 is a scout, saying the Ba is 3 cards away from the closest evil. Which, we'll see. Alright, so number 4, Enlightened, Empress, Bombardier, and Scout. Alright, so we have a double claim of Scout. So that's the only double claim, right? And they're saying Minion is 1 card away from the closest evil. So one of them is explicitly lying because there are only 2 evils here, right? So basically, face-up Bombardier has to be good. So you are good. And Minion is 1 card away from the closest evil. Ba is 3 cards away from the closest evil. But they're conflicting with each other. There's no doppelganger on the script. That means that there has to just be 1 evil between these 2, basically. So 1 to 2 evil. And this is saying the closest evil is counterclockwise. This one's saying the number 5 or number 3 is minion. It's saying the number 1 is evil, number 3, number 4, or number 7. Well, we know number 7 is good. This confessor's saying they're dizzy, and the dizziness would only come from being the drunk if they aren't evil, right? So they could be the drunk. But that would give us good info, so I want to kill them. They're the Ba. Okay, there we go. So, if this is true, then their evil is either this one or this one, right? And this one's saying that number 3, number 4, or number 7 is evil, which wouldn't be true. I guess I should have used the Slayer on number 1, but that's okay, whatever. In which case, this would be a lie, which would mean that they're the drunk. Alright, but if you are telling the truth, then this would have to specifically be the minion. This would be a lie, which would mean that they're the drunk, but no, that couldn't happen because they'd be double claiming a scout. So this one's a lie. So let's go ahead and kill you. They're the drunk, so that means that this has to be evil right there. Alright, there we go. We got him. We got him. Moving on. The fact that the drunk only loses you 2 health now is, well, I guess it's a big deal on a Lilith script, I guess. Otherwise, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, here we go. We got Shaman, Puppeteer, Lilith. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 villagers. So we're going to have a double claim on Outcast. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we move along here. All right, so let's go ahead and go with number 1 here. It was a bard. I'm 1 card away from a corrupted character. I'm getting a little hungry, but I'm actually going to Korean barbecue tonight, so I think I'm just going to hold out, man. I'm going to hold out. Plus, I said I would keep playing until I lose, and I can't lose. All right, I'm 1 card away from the corrupted character. All right, let's go here. Closest to evil is equidistant. Also, is there any corruption on here? There is Plague Doctor. There's Plague Doctor. All right, here we go. We got Bombardier. But that could easily be double claimed. And we got Plague Doctor here. Okay, number 7 is killed, and they are good. We know that. Okay, okay. We got number 9 here. We got Bard. So we have a double claim with Bard here. One saying that there's 1 corrupted character that they're close to. Then not reveal at least 1 card to make things spicy. That's true. I could do that. But I gotta keep trying my best. I gotta keep trying my best. Number 9 is a real Bard. Or 5, I cured 0 corruptions is true. 100% true right there. And they have to be... No, they could be the puppet, though. They could be the puppet still. Let's go ahead and flip you over, Slayer. Oh, that's the Lilith right there. That's the Lilith. Yep. See ya. So the Liliths will not kill themselves. So that's the only way that one works. It says number 5 or number 10 is a shaman. Alright, which is a lie, which means both of them are good. So number 5 is good, and number 10 is good. And this is saying there's no corrupted characters. Plague Doctor right there. Let's see here. Let's see here. So, I should have used Slayer on that. Alright, I keep forgetting to use Slayer instead of killing, because that would give us more info. But we'll go from here. Alright, so if this one is an outcast, then one of these 2 could still be evil, but this Bombardier is confirmed. They're saying that the closest evil is equidistant. We have 3. I'm saying I am 1 card away from a corrupted character. This one's saying there's no corrupted characters, but this alchemist is saying that they cured 0 corruptions, right? And if there is a Plague Doctor in play, there could be a Plague Doctor. If the Plague Doctor's in play, then this one has to be false, basically, is what it comes down to, right? In which case, this would be false. Closest evil is equidistant. Now, here's an interesting thing. It could be these 2. So we have the Slayer kill... Try to kill 9. Couldn't kill 9. Okay, okay. Number 9 is a real Bard. Let me kill number 1. Shaman. Okay. So that was the Shaman right there. I'm 1 card away from the corrupted character. So that means that's a lie, right? Which means that, well, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no corrupted characters. In fact, this Bard itself could be corrupted, right? Now, actually, here's something to note, though, is that there should be a double claim. So this one should be a villager double claim, because the Shaman would have added it in. So that means that both of these are confirmed good, right? Which means there is a Plague Doctor in play, which means that this is a lie. This is saying that the closest evil is equidistant, which is impossible here. So this is a lie as well, but that could be corrupted there. So let me have the Plague Doctor check if this is corrupted. They're saying number 2 is corrupted, and number 9 is evil, alright? So that's a lie. Okay, so the Plague Doctor isn't real then. Oh wait, is Drunk on the script? I think Drunk is on the script. Oh wait, there's only 1 outcast. What am I talking about? Oh man, I'm stupid. Okay, well, there we go. You're evil. And that's true then. Okay, never mind. For some reason I was thinking there were 2 outcasts. But it's all good. Alright, here we go. Alright, so you are evil. And this is true. And you're good. And, or you're not good necessarily. You could be the puppet, actually. This is saying that number 9 is a real Bard. So this is true. And you're good. And there are no corrupted characters because, yeah, it's the Bombardier right there. They couldn't kill number 9. Which checks out, but doesn't mean that they're necessarily good. You know, I might lose here, actually, because I think it's hard to tell between these 2 which one's evil, right? Couldn't kill number 9. Actually, yeah, I can't tell. I fucked up. So I think it's just a 50-50 right now. So this could end my run, and this could be merciful. I could go get some AC. But let me just think here. Is there a way that we can tell the difference between the two of these? Yeah, my mistake of killing the bard there was bad. Because I was thinking that there had to be... The Plague Doctor had to be good. It's 2 or 4. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, well this could be the end of the run. 50-50, let's go. But it was all my fault. Let's go with you. Nope, we ran out of health. Alright, we did it. We did it. We got to 34 before I inevitably fucked it up and ended up losing. So I'm going to call the stream here, but I streamed for like, what, 3 hours or so? 3 hours. But it's been a good time. This game's pretty fun. I'm going to get back to doing other shit besides this game, but as I said earlier in the stream, I've been having some shit going on. I went to a funeral yesterday, and it's just like, I've just been feeling lazy, you know, lack of motivation, but I want to get back into doing some blueprints. I want to get back into coding some card counting bots, and doing other stuff as well. So, stay tuned. I'm just been dealing with some shit, but we're going to get back into the routine. But thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.